Welcome to Reed Field. TJ Scholes here. Sulphur versus Washington, a matchup of a 0-1 Sulphur team versus a 1-0 Washington team. Washington coming off of a 41-6 victory over Pawnee last week. Let's go to Brad Beller and hear what he had to say about last week's victory.
Welcome, everyone. Brad Beller's Coaches Show, week number 2 for the Washington Warriors. Stuart McPherson alongside the head coach for the Warriors. We're going to talk about last week's big home opener at Reed Field, 41-6 over the Pawnee Red Bears, and the Sulphur Bulldogs coming to town tonight for week 1, actually. We had week 0 last week, week 1 this week. A big matchup against a 3A power in the Sulphur Bulldogs. We're going to talk to Coach Beller about last week's victory and about the game coming up tonight. We'll do that right after this. Back with the head coach, Brad Beller. Brad, a nice win. We were talking about this before you go on the air. A win's a win. Doesn't matter who you're playing and what. When you turn the lights on, you put the score up, it's good to come out with a victory. And I'm sure you got a lot of positives coming out of last week, some negatives, some things to work on, building on to the week, because everybody should know after a week 1, your first week game, you're not where you want to be.
No, you never come out of that game and go, hey, we are perfect, because there's always something. There's always something that you can improve on, whether it's technique, whether it's execution of plays, whatever it might be, communication, little things like that. You hope that your biggest fear is the effort and the physicality is not there. That was for sure on display the other night. We just all the other ones that we said before definitely have to be improved on, and you want that.
Right.
You want those little things that you can come back and say we have to get better. The key is that the kids realize that they have to improve on them, and we have to get them to understand that it's not just about a 41-6 victory. It's about moving forward each week and getting better. And trying to continue to get ready for district play, ultimately playoffs, and hopefully another long playoff push. So, it's step 1 of hopefully many steps.
And it was hot, Brad. It was brutally hot, and we're going to have that same heat tonight that we had last week. How did your team handle that, and how's practice been with the heat this week?
It's kind of a mixed bag. I feel like our depth in the game took over, that the heat affected Pawnee more just because we rotated more players. I do think that the heat did have an effect on us. I saw a few cramps here and there that were minor. We didn't have anything where they were having to lay on the ground. But anytime your nerves, along with the heat, there's no way to really get prepared for it. Plus, we had senior night, and so we were out there for an extended period of time that I think maybe affected us a little bit just in sitting in that heat. This week in practice, we did not handle the heat very well on Tuesday. Wednesday, we had probably our best practice of the year, and not probably, we did. And so the fact that we have shown that we struggled in the heat, we've hopefully overcame it through what we did Wednesday. Maybe that will lead to a better showing this week of just how to prepare for it, how to handle it mentally, and then also just getting maybe in the field house a little bit earlier to kind of get the sun off of them a little bit before the game. We'll have a better showing with the heat.
The mental aspect is probably more than anything in it. Just trying to get them to understand it's hot for both sides, and just go play hard. If you need out, we'll get you out. And that's one thing I was telling you before we went on the air, that watching the game on tape, not on tape, but on the playback, your depth is just tremendous, especially at running back. And those are the guys, your linemen, you've got some depth, you can rotate there, but you got these guys that are sprinting hard, play after play. You need to have depth, and you've got it right now.
Definitely have it. At those skill positions, I think we ended up only starting 2 guys both ways. Kobe Scott and Lane Steele are the only 2 that started both ways. Now, as the game went on, there might be someone that was having to go 2 or 3 series in a row, but we were able to rotate them. And like you said, the depth at running back, because every time you touch the ball, it's full speed.
Right.
There are certain things that you do as offensive linemen. You might not be moving as far. Wide receivers, if you're blocking, you might not have to go as far. But those running backs, every time they're touching it, I mean, they're at full speed, full go. We rushed for 356 yards. I think we had 10 different guys rush the football in the game. And so we used that depth, and it paid off big time week 0.
And you used 3 quarterbacks as well.
We did. I mean, anytime that you can take, that many guys and put them at key positions and they still produce.
Right.
It wasn't like one guy came in there, did great, and then we were just stagnant the rest of the night who we rotated in. It didn't matter if it was quarterback, running back, even offensive linemen, we rotated guys in. Wide receivers rotated a ton of guys in. The production was still there. Now, does it have to get better? Yes, but the fact that we were able to do that and you didn't see a huge drop-off, especially defensively, we didn't see a huge drop-off. Heck, our second team might have outplayed our first team defensively in the night. That is a big plus moving forward.
Well, and two, with Pawnee, when your seconds and thirds were in, they were playing a lot against their number one still.
They did. The second half, we really didn't play. We started rotating maybe a tad bit too early, but to be honest with you, we're a little beat up. Our shoulders, we got some ankles that we've got to get healed up. Normal things, but there's 7 or 8 guys that we have that I thought, well, this is the time to get them some rest and then hopefully get some experience against a good quality team. It's not like Pawnee is outside the top 25 in Class A. They're a top 10 team, and they only lost 2 games last year. They went 9-1 and got beat in the quarterfinals in Class A. So, the depth is what got them the other night. But they're not a bad team, and our second team stepping in and not getting shoved around and making big plays is big for us moving forward.
Brad, give me one player on both sides of the football that impressed you. Doesn't have to be a starter. One player on each side of the football that left an impression from that game.
Defensively, Lane Spalding, he was everywhere. I think he had 14, 15 tackles in the first half alone.
Wow.
And he is like a coach on the field. He made adjustments. He went to Coach K and he said, hey, if we can get all of our defensive linemen down an A and a B gap, he said, if we can cut that A gap penetration off where there is no cutbacks, there is nothing, and it runs outside, he said, if we can spill it outside, we'll be there. The fact that he was able to come over and work with Coach K on that, you could tell that he's a senior. He has some experience. He's played in big games, and he doesn't just play the game. He understands it. So he was the most impressive on that. On the offensive side of the ball, everyone probably come in the other night thinking we're going to throw it for 400 yards. And Cole Scott, he's that guy that last year he was the closer. He came in, looked like he was a shot out of a cannon when everyone else was. He was fresh. The other night, I think he rushes the ball 11 times for 120-some yards, 2 touchdowns. It just, was steady throughout the game. He had some big games, but he was just steady. And he took what the defense gave him, and he would give all the credit to the offensive line. That's what type of kid he is. But I was very proud of the way that he just stayed in there, waited for his opportunities. He pass protected. He even took a hook and ladder, off the lateral. And so I was very proud of the way that he responded to coming into the season with all the hype on all the receivers. He made a lot of plays.
I'd be amiss if I didn't talk about it because we talked a lot about the kicking game last week. Your kicker, Colby Scott, came in and put the ball deep every time.
He
in
did.
The end zone, three out of 4 early, I think.
Yep. I told him as long as he keeps his head down, good things happen because he has a really strong leg, and we've seen it in years past. The only problem is in the years past he wanted to see where it was going, and he might pull off of one and everything. But he has definitely been way more consistent this year, and he's practiced hard. That's the one thing with Kobe. Nobody will outwork Kobe when it comes to things like that. If we let him kick and punt all practice long, he would do it, and he would. Every snap would be the most important, and that's the reason why Kobe is the player he is and has been for the last 4 years. So, very proud of him and what he did.
Well, let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk with Coach Beller about tonight's game, a big ball game here at Reed Field with the Sulphur Bulldogs coming to town. We'll be back right after this. Back with Coach Brad Beller of the Washington Warriors. Brad, Sulphur coming in, suffered defeat to Tuttle, 28-0 last week. So you know they're going to be ready to play football this Friday night. Coach Jim's not going to let them rest this week.
No, he's not. And you know, when you go down 28-0, but you have a 7-0 deficit with under 2 minutes to go in the first half, and you give up a post, and you've kind of hung in there, and it was one of the more enjoyable games to watch on film that I can recently think about, because both teams were like two rams. It was just slam into one another, and whoever was standing won that play, and then it was the next play. And so the physicality part of Sulphur is there. The execution is going to continue to get there. And Coach Dixon and Coach Corey Cole, those guys do an absolute amazing job getting these guys to do everything that they want down to the little details, also playing as hard as they do. And sometimes, you know, kids can be robotic or this and that. They did it. And the fact that they lost, the score was not did not represent how good of a game that really was. They just didn't capitalize on some things, and they're going to come in here not only, you know, ready to go after a disappointing loss last week, but the fact that we beat them last year in a game that they really
at their
had
place.
At their place, that they had a chance to be 14-0 within the first 3 minutes of the game, and weren't able to capitalize. And then we capitalized on some things. They're going to be ready to go, and they're going to be. They do not want to go 0-2 for 2 years in a row, especially losing to Tuttle, then us. And we know how good Tuttle was. If they would have played Pawnee and we would have played Tuttle, the records could have been very easily flip-flopped. So, you know, them going and playing 4A number one lets you know what type of program they are, going up there and playing Tuttle. So they're not afraid of anybody, and they'll be ready to go this week.
Well, and that's just the point I was just fixing to make. With their schedule, playing Tuttle, who's perennial great in 4A, playing you now in again, everybody knows the legacy of Washington. They don't shy away. You don't shy away from people. They don't shy away. So that's if you're listening to this ball game and you have nowhere to go, listening to the Coach's Show, get to Washington, because you're going to see great football tonight from two great programs, and it's just going to be a fun, clean football game. You're all going to go out. Both teams are just going to go play football tonight. It's not going to be a ragtag deal. It's going to be good football.
If you go back to last year, arguably, outside of maybe from the Jones playoff game on, if you would have stopped it right there, that was the game. Right. That was the game that everyone talked about and everyone was excited about, and really catapulted us into a team that started to believe it could win against big-time opponents. And this year, the only difference is we're going in with a little bit more weight and a target on us than we were last year. And so everyone was the blue blood of Sulphur playing Washington from last year. That is very true. But I think this year it's two really good teams, and I think last year we were coming in probably a little under the radar. It's not going to be the case this year, and so it's a big highlighted game across the state.
Well, and I think this is probably something you would love to continue on. You might not have to worry about it being a non-district game in a couple of years.
No, it could very easily be. We're trying to find a week one opponent because, you know, with our growth and enrollment, if we potentially go up, even if it's for a 2-year stint, you know, we go up, likely we would be in their district. Right. We would be in that southern district with them and Plainview and different guys like that, Marlowe. So we definitely need to be prepared. And you know, going back to whenever you were here as the athletic director, that's what we started to try to build in junior high, was to go get ready to potentially be in 3A. That's why we play the junior high schedule. The you know, JV schedule that we play is that if we ever had to move up, we're going to be ready. And so Sulphur being added to our non-district schedule is a big reason why.
Well, and the players just have to understand. The players hear about these programs, the Tuttles, the Newcastles, the Sulphurs, the Plainviews. You play them, so and I think that's what happened back some years ago when of Davis, the mystique of Davis. You never, everybody, we can't beat Davis, and then you start playing them in junior high, and you start having success in junior high, and these kids, they're just kids. They're just football players, and it's the names there, sort of like with Washington. The names there, but you got to beat them, and it's this game. Friday night, this game tonight is going to be probably, and I hadn't seen the paper yet, but I'm sure it's going to be a top 10 game in the state.
Yeah, I would think so, just because both teams coming in the top 10 in their respective classes. And, I mean, anytime that you have to go up against Coach Dixon's team, you know they're going to be physical and prepared. And that is what we want, and that's what we want to see before we get to district play and ultimately before we get to the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, Brad, we've spent a lot of time talking about this. Let's wrap this up and talk about the keys to victory tonight over a Sulphur Bulldog team that's coming in here for some revenge.
We have to be very, very good defensively as far as off tackle. Our DNs and our outside backers, inside backers have to do a great job of trying to shut down their off tackle run game, because that is what they are known for, is the power and the counter. So we have to be ready for that defensively. Offensively, we need to be balanced. As good as they are against the run, we still have to make them respect that. We rushed for a lot of yards last year. We have to do a great job of being balanced on the run game, the pass game, the deep pass game, the short pass game, intermediate or inside run, outside run. Everything that there is that we need to do, we need to try to keep them off balance, because if they know what you're doing, they're a really, really good defense.
Yeah, we hope for some break in the weather. I don't think it's coming this week.
Not coming.
Maybe next week, we'll see. But you would hope that it's a game that
Gentlemen, please stand for the playing of our national anthem, followed by a prayer from Pastor Will Wilson from the Gulfie Baptist Church. Tonight's color guard from Mid-America Career Technology Center, Criminal Justice Color Guard, carrying the American flag is Sergeant First Class Aiden Stephen from Lindsay. The riflemen are Captain Kaylee Hart from Noble and Staff Sergeant Haley Purcell from Nibble. We're going to go in reverse tonight. We're going to do the national anthem and then followed by the prayer. Please bow. Dear Father, we're thankful for this day, Lord, for the opportunity to come out on a beautiful day like this, and for teams and cities to be able to get together and compete, good sport. We're thankful for the people from Sulphur on their way up here, Lord, that they were gotten here safely, and we pray that they get home safely. but also pray for the safety of each and every player that's going to be represented out there on the field tonight. We ask that they play to the best of their ability and hold their head high. Be with us in all that we do. Watch over us and guide us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Darren Beller and Jason Hendricks, owners of Air Product Supply in Goldsview, are proud to sponsor the Washington Warriors on Squirtle for the 2021 season. APS is the regional distributor of Climate Master geothermal heat and air equipment and Lux Air and Oxbox as well. If you are looking for a local heat and air service company, call us at 405-288-0233 and we can put you in contact with the local professional heat and air company. All the employees of APS want to wish Coach Brad Beller and the rest of the Warriors and coaching staff the best of luck this football season. Go Warriors!
Welcome, Warrior fans, to Reed Field. It's Friday night in Washington. The Washington Warriors facing the Sulphur Bulldogs in a battle of a Class 3A versus 2A teams. Washington coming off of a 41-6 victory over Pawnee, number 7 in the state in Class A last week. And Kyle, they're ready to get after this Sulphur Bulldog team.
Yes, sir. A little bit better game coming in tonight, TJ. Like I said, Washington coming up with a big win last week. Also, Sulphur coming off a 28-0 loss. Playing a pretty good team over there at Tuttle, though, TJ. Highly ranked. What's Tuttle, 4A?
Yeah, 3A, yeah.
3A.
Yeah.
And highly ranked team, and like you said, it really wasn't as bad as the score came out to be. It was 7-0 first quarter, only 14-0 at the half. So it wasn't just a blowout by any means, but like you said, Sulphur's going to come in here, be hungry for a big game against a highly rated offense here for the Washington Warriors.
Yeah, Sulphur got beat by Washington last year. The Warriors went down to I-35 and got down there and beat Sulphur up pretty good. And I'm guessing they're probably up for some revenge. Plus, getting beat by Tuttle last week, they're going to be a little hungry for their first victory of the season. Not sure how healthy they are for Sulphur. There's some rumors going around that their quarterback might be injured, and a couple of their linebackers, who are really good players, might be injured as well. So we'll see how that goes. But Tuttle's a very physical team. We saw them in the scrimmage, and Sulphur tried to match them bit for bit and came out on the short end. So it should be a physical ball game if everybody's healthy enough to play. Tonight's captains for the Warriors are number 3, Kobe Scott, number 21, Lane Steele, number 56, Rope Scott, and number 2, Luke Hendricks. Luke Hendricks, Kobe Scott, and Lane Steele all had pretty good games last week, showing off that new passing attack, Kyle.
Yeah, and like I said last week, our receiving core, TJ, is probably one of the better ones in the state. We've got some good guys as far as receivers. Got some returning starters, some new guys that really stepped up last week. TJ showed their true colors and kind of what we have in store for this season. So, it was just week 0, but game 1 last week. There's room for improvement. I'm sure the coaches watch film and everything and going to try to dial it in this week against a better Sulphur team.
Captains for Sulphur are number 52, Brex Flood, number 42, Brant Flood, number 84, Brandon Lloyd, and number 1, Mason Mobley. The quarterback we're looking at is Reese Ratchford, a very good quarterback that played last year, running quarterback, very good baseball player. I think he's a Wichita State commit. Supposedly he might have an injured leg. He hurt his leg last year and battled back to be able to play this year. wasn't even supposed to play this year, and through his hard work throughout the summer, he's been able to come back. But we'll see if he's able to play tonight. So we have the coin toss at midfield right now. Windy, warm evening here at Washington. Temperature is about in the mid-90s. Hopefully it's the last bit of this. It's September, right?
Yeah, like you said, but this week's probably been the hottest week of the year, TJ. Like you said, it was in the 90s, but my car said 100 when I pulled in to pick Reed up from basketball practice. It's definitely, these guys are going to have to stay hydrated tonight. I'm sure the officials are going to take plenty of timeouts. OSSA has done a good job of that in the past, implementing timeouts for water breaks and stuff like that, especially in this kind of heat of the year. But, you know, like you said, hopefully it's kind of our last really strong heat index of the week.
Yeah, I mean, it's football season, right? College football started this week. You had a good game last night with Ohio State and Minnesota, and the state schools. Poor Tulsa got beat up on last night by an FCS school, but OU and OSU play this week. We'll have our picks for those games. Obviously, we are OSU homers and assume they're going to lose every week anyway, but we'll have those later on in the game, and we're excited. This is going to be a great game. You talked about it earlier. This is going to be a physical game. You got two physical teams, and it's going to be exciting to watch and a good early season matchup. We're going to take a short break. You're watching Washington Warrior football.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
Versatile net.
And welcome back to Reed Field. TJ Scholes here with Kyle Harris. Kyle, I thought our camera guys did a pretty good job last week. We have Jesse Dawson, and Evan Madden up there. First time ever filming, and they were able to do a great job. Jesse Carey, sorry. His brother's name's Dawson.
Yeah.
Jesse Carey and Evan Madden did a great job of showing some good highlights, and we're excited about this audiovisual club that we're able to put through with the Squirtle app. If you guys are looking at advertising, you guys can see in the corner of the screen we have been able to secure some advertising for these things. This will allow us to stay free for people getting to watch. You know, last year you had to pay a subscription fee. This year we're trying to keep it free. So if you have an opportunity or know somebody that has an opportunity to or to advertise, please go to the WashingtonWarriors.tv, and there's a red button that you can sign up for to advertise. All the help we can get. We're trying to stream all kinds of events. We're going to look at getting some cross-country highlights and some softball highlights in the next few weeks. Got a big interview with Mr. Reynolds, superintendent, at halftime.
Big school ball.
Yep, so give us some information on that. So very exciting times here in Washington, Oklahoma. Teams are gathering to each end zone to run through their spirit lines. A couple of stats from last week that stood out. Kyle, almost 550 yards of total offense.
Yeah, that was a big week for Washington offense last week. I went up there to new offensive coordinator last week. I said, well, 540 yards. I guess you'll get to keep your job for another week. Just season with him, but no, like you said, heck of a week for Washington, and I feel like they could have had a little bit more. You know, clean up some things from early. You know, first game jitters and everything, but clean that stuff up, and you know this team could have had 650, 700 yards, I believe, last week. But you know, like you said, 540 starting out, coming out the gate, game one. That's a pretty good number to put up for first week, TJ.
270 yards given up on the ground last week. Not a number that the coaches are happy with, but if you go back and watch the film, a majority of those yards came on the first two drives. They went and marched 80 yards for a touchdown on the first drive, and then went down to the 1 yard line and got stuffed on a fumble, and so weren't able to score there. And so, you know, half the yardage was gained, or almost 2/3 of the yardage was gained on those 2 drives. The rest of the time, defenses stood up and stopped them.
Yeah, they did a good job of making some adjustments. Like you said, first 2 drives they went down and ran it down our throat, and then I believe one of the game changers of last week, TJ, was like you said that goal line stand when they marched all the way down the field. Really took the breath out of them. You know, our guys have gone through PC this summer. You know, that's kind of one of the things we pride ourselves on is these boys making it through PC, being physically in shape and, you know, being able to go the distance as far as conditioning wise. But, you know, defense, get it keyed in this week. I'm kind of curious to see how they will match up against this bigger physical Bulldog offense and defense.
Yeah, the 2 linebackers for Sulphur, we'll get their names here in a little bit, but they are big, stout linebackers that run violently to the ball, and that's going to be an interesting matchup for the Warrior offense to see if they can stop that. I believe our defense is going to be able to stop their offense, but their physicality at the line of scrimmage is going to be a difference in the game. Kicking for Sulphur is number 1, Mace Mobley, and receiving for the Warriors are Braden Arthur and Cade Norman. Game 2 of the Warriors season is about to begin. Short kick to the right. Ben Vaughn retrieves it, and he is stopped at the 30-yard line. Oh, the ball looks loose. Refs are calling it down, so Warriors will take over at the 30-yard line after about a 7-yard gain by Ben Vaughn. Starting at quarterback will be number 10, Major Cantrell. Sophomore quarterback, came in through 8 for 11 last week.
Had a pretty good game.
165 yards, not bad for his first varsity start. Kobe Scott will be on the right side of the field. Luke Hendricks on the left. Lane Steele in the slot. Cantrell sends Cole Scott and Cade Norman in motion. They hand it off to Lane Steele in the jet motion, and number 42 for the Bulldogs, Brant Flood, was able to stop him for no gain.
Little different read. You know, coming out the gate. TJ going to Lane Steele on the jet sweep, moving everybody out of the backfield and trying to get it to one of your key guys. But Bulldogs did a good job of stuffing that.
Cade Norman starting in place of Cage Morris this week. 2 sophomores. We talked about that a lot last week, about the youth of this team and how talented that youth can be. Cantrell takes the snap, and he has got his pass blocked by big number 64. That's Braxton Sanford. He came free from the lineman spot, and Major had no chance.
No, we talked about that earlier. I'm kind of curious to see how this young Warrior offensive line is going to match up against some of these big Sulphur boys. And you've seen right there, they're going to have to buck up a little bit because they got through scotch-free and was right in Major's face when he's trying to make that pass.
3rd down and 9 for the Warriors. Ball is at the 31-yard line of Washington. Cantrell gets the signal from the sideline. Takes the snap, drops back, looking left. He's got Luke Hendricks. He's open. He's at the 40, and he trips. Whoa. Trips down right about the 41-yard line. We'll call it 41. He had a touchdown if the old turf monster didn't grab him.
Yeah, he was very good. Major threw a good ball, let him out in front, and got tripped up a little bit. But give credit to the running back right there. Picked up a big blitz. Linebacker was blitzing, was coming up at Major, and ended up picking him up, give Major a little bit more time.
Warriors get to the line of scrimmage quick and then get the signal from the sideline. Trips to the right. Kobe Scott, Cage Morris, and Lane Steele. Luke Hendricks isoed on the left. They run a pass to Kobe Scott. He's going to make a man miss, and he's dropped down by number 12, Brighton Gaddy, at the 25-yard line. Another 13 yards on the pass play from Cantrell to Scott.
Good little pop right there, 13 yards for first down, TJ. I'd imagine you're going to see that a lot tonight. A lot of quick passes, get the ball in your receiver's hands. You know, this receiving core, you get the ball to them quick, they're able to make moves out in the open field. So it looks like Brad Beller's going to kind of lean on that tonight.
Trips to the left side now. Cantrell takes the snap, hands it off to Cole Scott. Cole Scott breaks a couple tackles, and he's down to the 10-yard line. Huge hole created by the offensive line. Brought down by number 51 for the Bulldogs, Ransom Beam. And it's going to be 1st and goal for the Warriors. Warriors playing with some tempo. Excuse me, it's going to be there at the 11, so it's going to be 1st and 10. Same formation. Cantrell barking out the calls. Sends Lane Steele in motion. They hand it off to Cole Scott. He gains a couple yards to the left, tripped up by number 79. Nobody, apparently, for the Bulldogs. Got a blank name here, Kyle, so might have to be creative. 9:48 to go in the first quarter. Warriors are marching. Big third down reception from Cantrell to Luke Hendricks keeps the drive alive. And now we're knocking on the end zone door. They send Lane Steele in motion. Now he goes back in the opposite direction. They hand it to Scott, and he is tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Number 42, that's Brant Flood, 6-foot senior, 185 pounds. And one of those linebackers that the coaches were talking about all week.
Pretty good job right there by the Sulphur D, TJ. They had that read out from the start, and like you said, Cole Scott was big big source to be reckoned with last week. Had 130 plus yards, on offense on the ground. So Coach Beller's going to look to lean on him a little bit more tonight.
Sulphur coming with the blitz. Cantrell rolls to the right. He's got Kobe Scott. Touchdown! 8-yard touchdown strike from Major Cantrell to Kobe Scott. Gives the Warriors their first score of the night. Big-time drive by Washington to start off the game.
Yeah, throw some passes in there. Major did a good job throwing some balls there. And like you said, right there, Kobe, 5-yard step, turn around and look for it. There was nobody around him. Major put the ball right on the money, and Warriors in for 6.
Hegeman with the extra point. Sails high up into the sky, and it is good. With 8:56 left to go in the first quarter, Washington Warriors lead the Sulphur Bulldogs 7-0. You're watching Washington Warrior football.
Networks can handle all of your school or business technology and wiring needs. Expanding into a new building or office space? We would love to give you a free quote for your network wiring. Are your computers outdated? Are your servers slow? Is your network underperforming? Is your wireless network weak? Let Versatile Networks come in and assess the situation and get you back up and running the way you should be. Call Versatile Networks today at 405-217-0267 or visit versatilenetworks.com for more information.
Welcome back to Reed Field. TJ Scholes here with Kyle Harris. Kyle, we were just talking during the break. Sulphur might have to change their defensive philosophy because they're isolating their corners on islands, and the Washington Warrior receivers are taking advantage.
Yeah, and with this receiving core, TJ, they're gonna have to spread it out, try to guard everybody. But when you do that, like I said, opens up the running game for Cole Scott throughout the night. So, kind of be curious to see what kind of adjustments Sulphur makes throughout this game.
Kobe Scott with the kickoff and another touchback. Talked with Kobe this week in the hallways. He went back and watched our school broadcast, and he was offended that we thought that he couldn't kick, and it was like, Kobe, we just didn't know, and he's like, every kick I did, I meant to kick that way, and he's showing off a strong leg.
We weren't necessarily making fun of him or something of that sort. He's just got big shoes to fill coming off of last year.
That is true. Got Cade Du Bois going to, I believe, Houston Baptist right now, playing the kicking position there for that football team. And so the Sulphur Bulldogs take over at their own 20-yard line. Quarterback is number 1, Mace Mobley, and hands it off to number 40, Cole Gentry. Again, number 8, Reese Ratchford is normally their starting quarterback, and he is out with an injury. A big-time quarterback and baseball player from Sulphur. Hopefully he's able to get healthy for the rest of the season. I believe he is a senior. Number 8, Reese Ratchford is, so hopefully he's able to come back at some point during his senior year. But until then, Mace Mobley was at the reins. He takes the high snap, rolls to the right, looking to pass. Now he's going to run. Lane Spalding's there, and so is Rope Scott to bring him down. Number 54. That is Nathan Rainey. Lane Spalding led the Warrior defense last week with 15 tackles at his linebacker spot.
Quarterback rolled out there. Great coverage downfield. Got Kobe Scott guarding Gage Graham there. Was able to keep him locked on. Quarterback had nowhere to throw, and Warrior D come in and wrap him up.
3rd down and 6 for Sulphur. Starting at the corner positions are Lane Steele and Kobe Scott. Safeties are Jamison Holland and Reese Stevens. Sulphur comes out with twin receivers to the left. They send their tight end, number 84, Brandon Lloyd, in motion. High snap again. Mobley's going to keep it. He's got some room to run on the right side. He makes Kobe miss 50, 45, 40. Now it's a foot race down to the 20, and he is dragged down by Jamison Holland and Kobe Scott. Misdirection got the Warriors on that play.
Yeah, and just like you said, a little zone read, keep it, cut to the outside. Nobody there. TJ was off to the foot race, and luckily we have a little speed there. He got out in front. I didn't think they were going to catch him.
I agree.
Was able to track him down from behind. But
Good
great
effort
play by the Sulphur Bulldogs.
Yeah, good effort by Kobe Scott to come back and clean up that tackle. 7:11 to go in the first quarter. Warriors lead 7-0. Sulphur has the ball at the Warrior 19-yard line. They send out twin receivers to the right. Tight end on the right. Pistol formation. Mobley takes the snap and hands it off to his running back, number 40, Cole Gentry. He pushes the pile forward. Strong run by the Sulphur running back. It's going to be a gain of about 7.
Coach Beller talked about him earlier this week. 40, big running back. Sulphur Bulldogs look to lean on him throughout the game. Good sized kid, TJ. He's gonna continue to get touches throughout this game. Warriors gonna have to key in a little bit and hit him low. He's a pretty good sized fella. There
was a penalty on play. It looks like holding on the inside by the Bulldogs, so that'll back them up 10 yards. And they will have the ball for first down at the 24-yard line.
This is Cole Gentry, 6'3", 200 pounds. That's a pretty good-sized running back, DJ.
That is pretty big. We might need to check and see if he plays for Bishop Sycamore next weekend. Twin receivers to the left. Tight end left. They hand it off to their speed back, and he's met in the backfield. Jake Wells and Lane Spalding there first to meet him. A host of Warriors clean up the rest of the play. No gain, maybe even a couple yards lost on that play. Bring up second down and 18.
Jake Wells only played 2.5 quarters last week. Came up with 10 tackles. TJ, he was. We talked about it last week. That Wells name is a force to be reckoned with, and he's one of the few that he's a bull in the china closet.
Oh, for sure.
Young kid.
Lane Spalding, Jake Wells, and you have Rhett Vaughn out there in those linebacker positions. Warriors creeping to the line of scrimmage. They fake the handoff. They're looking to pass. Mobley looks deep, and it is incomplete. Nobody there. Pass was intended for number 84, tight end, Brandon Lloyd. That'll bring up a 3rd and long for the visitors. But yeah, defense, the linebackers did a great job. Of course, Pawnee ran the ball every play almost. They only threw 3 passes, so you expect to get a lot of tackles, but you really like it when your linebackers are getting those tackles.
Yep.
And that way your safeties and corners aren't. If your safeties and corners are getting them, probably for first downs, right?
Yeah.
3rd down, the Bulldogs have the ball at the 26-yard line. They need 18 yards to get a first down. Mobley in the pistol formation with number 32, Hoy Myers at the running back spot. Looks like Sulphur wants to take a timeout. We'll take one with them. You're watching the Warriors on WashingtonWarriors.tv.
Stream like the pros with Squirtle Live. Find out more at squirtle.com/stream.
Score that perfect design at Touchdown Graphics just north of the curve in Pond Creek. They offer screen printing and embroidery on t-shirts, shorts, hoodies, and more. Show your spirit for your school, team, club, or special event with a custom design from Touchdown Graphics. Call 580-532-4579 or see them online at touchdowngraphics.com. Touchdown Graphics. It's good.
Welcome back to Reed Field. DJ Scholes here with Kyle Harris. Warriors lead 7-0 over the Sulphur Bulldogs with 5:38 left to go in the first quarter. Sulphur has a big 3rd down and 18 from the Warrior 26-yard line. So, Kyle, I don't know if you know about the Bishop Sycamore reference. That is, there's a fake high school that basically played JUCO players against the IMG Academy last week. They played 2 games in 3 days. Basically a scam. I think you might play for Bishop Sycamore. Bulldogs come out and trips to the left. They send their number 12 in motion, but it looks like there's some movement.
Looks like they'll back up another 5.
Be a 3rd and 23 for the Bulldogs.
Getting ready to say that. You're trying to take away from my math skills up here, TJ.
3rd and 23. One thing that we want to see from the Warriors tonight is a cleaner game. 11 penalties last week, and so far so good. 3rd down and 23 to go for the Bulldogs. You would think an obvious passing down, Kyle.
Yeah, and Sulphur's probably trying to figure out what they're going to do. You've got this coverage down here. You've got Lane Steele and Holland down here, number 9, and Kobe Scott in the middle there. They're going to have problems passing the ball.
Instead, they choose to run it, and Jake Wells and Lane Spalding are having none of that. Only about a 5-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. They are in position to go for it, though, Kyle. There's no need to punt it from the 30-yard line.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about their kicker.
It's going to be 4th and a mile here
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah.
really not 4th down territory you want to be in. You try to like to cut that in half and 3rd down, but we'll see what kind of play call they come up with.
If they were to kick a field goal, it'd be about a 43-yarder. Looks like they are going to go for it. They come out with the receiver on each side. 2 tight ends. They fake the handoff. They're looking deep. He throws it deep. He's going for number 12. It is incomplete. Pass intended for Brighton Gaddy. Great coverage there by number 21, Lane Steele.
Lane
brings up a turnover on downs for the Warriors.
Lane had him swallowed up the whole time, and quarterback just didn't have no choice but to throw that deep and overthrown a little bit. But we do have a flag down midfield here. Could possibly be a late hit on a quarterback right here, TJ. We weren't really watching that, but no. Intentional ground.
No, roughing the passer, yep. That's what you call it. It's called a late hit on the quarterback. And, again, 11 penalties last week. You have them dead to right here with 4th and 18 and give up a
automatic first down.
15-yard penalty. It would be an automatic first down. And that'll bring in, coaches bring in number 20, Hayden Milner. Number 50, who comes running off the field, that is Nathan Spalding. And the Bulldogs will have the ball at the 13-yard line. And they'll be able to keep the drive alive. High snap, tangled down by Mobley.
Good
and
job.
Number 10 is Daniel Amaya. He's able to pick up a couple yards before being stopped by the Warriors.
Have 56 rope Scott there, good penetration, and was able to get in the backfield, get him wrapped up, and let everybody else close in. So this Warrior D, not the scenario you want to be in. Bad 4th down, stand right there, had to lay hit on a quarterback and give them an easy first down. But look for this Warrior D right here to make a stand and try to come in big, get a stop right here.
Sulphur comes out in the diamond formation with the tight end as well. They hand it off to Gentry. He's running to the right. We got a bunch of penalties there. Rope Scott was there first to meet him.
It's going to be a face mask or a horse collar, one of the two.
Again, penalties hurting the Warriors and keeping this Sulphur drive alive. .403 to go in the first quarter. Warriors lead 7-0. Scored on their first drive. The pass from Cantrell to Kobe Scott.
Another first down.
Bulldogs are looking to answer that score. A fast-moving first quarter, Kyle. Only 1 possession so far for each team. There's 4 minutes left.
We don't have not an automatic first down right here. I don't know. We need to check on that rule because I was asking my dad the other night, and I think OSSA changed that because we had a call the other night that should have been an automatic first down, and he said, no, they changed that. So we may try to get a little clarification on that.
2nd down and 4 for the Bulldogs. Diamond formation. Fake the handoff this time. Mobley keeps it. He's looking for some room to run and tackled down by number 40, Jake Wells.
Still going to have enough to have the first down, though.
Going to be down to about the 3-yard line and give the Sulphur Bulldogs a 1st and goal. Big penalty on 4th and 18 has kept this Sulphur Bulldog drive alive. Roughing the passer penalty, and now they're knocking on the door. Sulphur comes out again in their diamond formation with the tight end on the right. Mobley takes the snap. He hands it off. Number 4.
Looks like he's in.
Braden Standifier, and he scores. 80-yard touchdown drive by the Sulphur Bulldogs, capped off with a Braden Standifer 3-yard plunge and helped by a 4th and 18 roughing the passer penalty. Mason Mobley set to kick the extra point. Kick is up. And it's good. With 3:20 to go in the first quarter, the game is tied 7-7. You're watching the Warriors on WashingtonWarriors.tv.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
When it comes to Darren Beller and Jason Hendricks, owners of Air Product Supply in Goldsview, are proud to sponsor the Washington Warriors on Squirtle for the 2021 season. APS is the regional distributor of Climate Master geothermal heat and air equipment and Lux Air and Oxbox as well. If you are looking for a local heat and air service company, call us at 405-288-0233 and we can put you in contact with the local professional heat and air company. All the employees of APS want to wish Coach Brad Beller and the rest of the Warriors and coaching staff the best of luck this football season. Go Warriors!
Welcome back to Reed Field. TJ Schultz here with Kyle Harris. 3:20 to go in the first quarter, and the game is tied 7-7. Both teams scored on their opening drive, and that's the only amount of drives we've had so far, Kyle.
Yeah, Washington defense kind of let down a little bit there, TJ. 2 unfortunate penalties that gave Sulphur, helped them down the field, and was able to get them in to get the score tied up. But like you said, you're going to have to clean that up a little bit.
Mobley kicks it off to Cade Norman. He trips it off his foot and just falls down on it at the 15-yard line. Kind of might have got lost in the sun there. The sun's setting on Reed Field, getting behind the concession stand. Hopefully that gets down quicker and makes this game a little bit cooler, right?
Yeah. Going to have to open up these windows. Got these new shades on the window, TJ.
Looks nice from the outside.
Cutting down the visual appearance up here a little bit.
Our eyes aren't as good as they used to be, huh? Warriors come out with 3 receivers to the right. Kobe Scott, Cage Morris, and Lane Steele. The short side of the field is Luke Hendricks. Cantrell gets the call from the sidelines. Cole Scott in the backfield. Cantrell barks his orders to the line. Takes the snap from Easton Berglund and hands it off to Cole Scott. He breaks the tackle. He breaks to the right and then over to bounce himself over the 25-yard line to the 28. Brought down by number 9, Aspen Jolly. A big first down carry by Cole Scott.
TJ, Warriors looking to go a little tempo here, speed up the pace, try to catch the Sulphur D off guard a little bit.
You can see the defense kind of in a rush to get matched up, and I think the Warriors will take advantage of that throughout the game.
We saw that last week. Warriors kind of changed it up a little bit, went tempo and then slowed it down a little bit. I'm sure they'll try to do the same tonight.
Warriors get the call from the sideline, twin receivers to each side. Cole Scott flanked to the right. He hands it off to Cole Scott. He cuts back to the middle and is dragged down. Looks like by number 1, Mace Mobley. A gain of about 3 on the play.
Mobley on the stop and about ran on Nate Steele over too. Nate was trying to come in there and lay a block. And
Lane Steele? Which Steele boy are you talking about? Lane? Oh, yeah.
Ended up bulldozing him as well.
Cantrell takes the snap. He's looking to pass. Throws it to Cole Scott. Nice catch by him. Breaks to the 40. Gets tackled by number 2, Gage Graham. And not before he gets past the 45-yard line to the 47. And good for a Warrior first down.
Let him out in the flats, TJ, but, you know, we said this last game. Credit the two guys on the edge there, Kobe Scott and Cage Morris, laying the wood, getting some blocks, you know, on the edge there, was able to free him up for more yards than he probably should have got.
Looks like there might have been a penalty on the play, too, and gives the Warriors an extra 15 yards and brings it down to the 39-yard line of Sulphur. 2:11 to go in the first quarter.
After the penalty, the ball marked for the 38-yard line. First and 10.
Three receivers to the left. Single receiver is Kobe Scott on the right. First and 10 for the Warriors. Cantrell takes the snap. He's looking for Kobe Scott, and Kobe lets it fall out of his hands. Came in a little hot. Should have caught it.
He said
he
got up and said, "My bad." He needs to get on that Jex machine, throw them balls in there. And Major put a little heat on that one, so Kobe will be looking for it again here in a minute.
Second and 10 for the Warriors. Might have been one of those situations where Kobe was trying to run before he caught the ball. Coach Q sends this call to Cantrell, and he barks his orders to the line. Cantrell takes a low snap, and this falls on it.
Cantrell falls on the snap.
Ball bounces on the ground at about the 44-yard line. 43, check that. And now it's going to be a third and long for the Warriors.
That was one of my big things that I was really impressed with last week was a young sophomore quarterback. We had a lot of low snaps last week, TJ, and he just fell on a couple of them. And, you know, a lot of younger guys would try to pick those up and try to make something happen. But, you know, Major did a good job of just falling on it. Reset the downs, trusting your O, and you know, let's reset and try it again.
1:23 to go in the first quarter. Cantrell takes the snap. He rolls to the left, squares up, trying to avoid defenders, and he is brought down. First met by number 4, Braden Standifer, and a big sack by the Sulphur defense. Backs the Warriors up to the Washington 48-yard line, a loss of about 7. It's going to bring up a huge fourth down and a punting situation for Washington. Looks like the Bulldogs had that one sniffed out from the get-go,
yes,
Kyle.
Sir.
Number 3, Kobe Scott, set the punt. Number 1, Mason Mobley for the Bulldogs. Lines up at his 10-yard line. Good snap. Nice hang time by Kobe Scott. Mobley's looking to return. Makes number 26, Braden Arthur, miss, but good coverage by the Warriors. Brought down by number 18, J.J. Jones, and number 8, Ben Vaughn. Braden Arthur comes back to clean it up. There are penalty flags on the play.
Pretty good punt there, TJ. Good hang time. Like you said, you called it out, but, you know, try to pin the Bulldogs deep and enough hang time to be able to let your Warriors close in and make a good tackle.
Looks like there's a block in the back, so that'll be half the distance, and it'll pin the Bulldogs deep into their own territory. Kobe Scott getting some looks at the receiver position at the next level, but he might have a future in the kicking and punting department. There ain't no shame in that. Pat McAfee made a good living out of that. 26 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Night's starting to get cooler.
Wind started to blow a little bit.
Yep. Mobley comes in at quarterback in the pistol formation. Hands it off to running back, number 32, Coy Myers. He is stuffed at the line of scrimmage, only about to gain 2 yards. Met by a host of Warriors. And clock is winding down on this first quarter.
Had 50 Nate Spalding in there on that. Had, like you said, a host of Warriors. So Sulphur really hadn't had a lot of success running the ball in between the tackles. Now TJ had to make some adjustments. We'll see kind of what they come up with in the first quarter right there. But, you know, they're going to have to make some adjustments, try to get outside the tackle a little bit, maybe even pass a little bit against this good Washington secondary and try to move the ball down the field.
At the end of the first quarter, it's tied 7-7, just like we expected. Tough game for both teams. We're going to take a short break. You're watching Warrior football on WashingtonWarriors.tv.
Cellular service? Why pay for data you don't use? Pioneer Cellular offers a variety of plans designed to give you the lowest prices on the data you and the others on your plan really need. That's why people all over are switching to Pioneer. Pioneer Cellular can save you money on your family plan, no matter how you define family. Do the math. Visit our website at gopioneer.com, call us at 800-641-2732, or stop by a local Pioneer store. Find out how much we can save you.
Welcome back to Reed Field. TJ Scholes here with Kyle Harris. Kyle, we got a big-time interview at halftime.
Yeah.
D-Man, Superintendent Chris Reynolds, Mr. Reynolds, as I call him. He is my boss.
Got the soup coming up here.
Yeah, he's going to talk about the bond issue, try to let the patrons of this community know all the information that it entails, and any type of questions you might have. There's a meeting date set. We had one on Monday, and so big time's coming here in Washington, Oklahoma. Mobley takes the snap, hands it off to number 40, Gentry, and he is tripped up by Rope Scott. Rope Scott with a great game last week, and he's continuing his good game streak this week, Kyle.
Yeah, got a lot of guys utilizing their quick speed. TJ was able to close in on that, wrap him up for really no loss or not a loss at all.
Yeah,
or
2-yard gain.
Not a gain.
Yeah.
I'm trying to spit it out.
Nothing.
Hey, this is week 1. Second game, so
second game.
bear with
Officially
me
week 1, right? 3rd and 9 for the visitors. More than likely a passing down. Get to test our Washington secondary. Great corners and safeties for this Washington defense. Mobley takes the snap and he fakes it and he's going to run it. Lane Spalding's there to get him, but he misses the tackle. He spins off a defender. Now he's got room to run. He's at the 30. He's at the 40. He's going to the left, trying to outrun Rhett Vaughn. He's at the 30, the 25, 20.
I think Rhett's going to catch
10, 5, touchdown.
Man.
91-yard touchdown run by senior Mace Mobley. A couple of missed tackles led to that big touchdown run.
Yeah, really nothing special there, TJ. Just kind of not really play action, but kind of just wait and see, let the hole develop, and was able to get to the edge. They got the edge sealed there, had some blocks downfield, and was able to free him up for a big gain and put another 6 on the board for the Sulphur Bulldogs.
Mobley out of breath here to try to kick this extra point. And it looked like it. He barely got it over the line of scrimmage, and that's going to fall short, well short, thankfully for the Warriors. And it'll bring up, 10:58 to go in the second quarter, Sulphur leads 13-7. We'll take a break with them. You're watching Warrior football on WashingtonWarriors.tv.
Great Plains Land Company came together out of a desire to return to what a land company should be, a client-centered organization as passionate about the land as you are. Land is not something we deal with from 8 to 5. Land is truly our passion. Whether you are looking for your dream property or listing a property, you need an experienced land specialist working for you. We invite you to call our Great Plains Land team today at 405-761-4808.
Welcome back to Reed Field. Kyle, talk about this new pay dirt site that Squirtle is offering fans this year.
Yeah, new pay dirt on the it'll be on the Squirtle app, fans. So you guys are used to going on there checking schools throughout high school football every week, and another little feature that they threw in there, kind of an NFL. I said it was an NFL red zone last week, but it's NFL red zone like show. Going to have games live throughout the week, several schools throughout the week, and they're going to go live on big plays throughout games, keying live to big plays, and go there, check it out. It's a pretty cool feature for Squirtle. That'll be on the Squirtle app. Go in and download it from the App Store, and you guys get on there, check it out. Washington's on there for the second week in a row this week, and pretty cool little feature you guys get to utilize.
Very good. Mace Mobley set to kick. Just finished a 91-yard touchdown run off a couple of missed tackles. Number 30, Cade Norman, and number 26, Braden Arthur, deep to receive. Short kickoff. It's going to take a bounce, and Cade Norman picks it up. He runs to the left and pushes it up past the 30-yard line. Nice return by the sophomore. Tackled by number 42, Grant Flood, and the Warriors will take over with their third possession at the Washington 31-yard line. Excuse me, 29. Warriors got a little bit behind the chains last possession. And
31.
31, now they're moving it. I'm confused. Get these eyes fixed. Spread formation by Washington. Cole Scott running back in the backfield. Flanked to the left of Major Cantrell. They send Cage Morris in motion. They run him on the jet sweep. And he is tripped up by number 9, Aspen Jolly. And not before a 5-yard gain by the sophomore slot receiver.
Coach Miller looking to go to one of the younger guys right there on the jet sweep. Cage Morris was able to pick up 5 for the first down there. Pretty good gain on first down, TJ. I'm kind of curious to see if Brad kind of keys in on these decent gain after first down, see if we, try to take some shots downfield for this great receiving core that we have.
Good play call there to try to settle the offense down a little bit as well. 3 receivers to the right. They send Lane Steele in motion on the twirl motion. They hand it off to Cole Scott. And he is tripped up by number 4, Braden Standifer. He gains about 3 yards, and it's going to bring up a big 3rd down and 2 for the Washington offense. Washington needs to regain momentum here on this play.
A little tempo.
Trying to draw the Sulphur defense off sides. It doesn't work.
Every time we say they're going to go tempo, they tone it back. Like you said, trying to draw them off sides and tone it back a little bit, get the play call, reset, take a breath, and we'll see what they come up with on 3rd and short.
Cantrell fakes the handoff, drops the ball, and now throws it. He's got a receiver open, and he's able to make the pass. Great play by the sophomore quarterback to Lane Steele. On a 3rd and 2, gives them a 7-yard completion for a first down.
Yeah, great job right there. Was able to pick it up. Like you said, kind of scrambled a little bit, was able to pick that pass up. Had vision downfield, was able to see his open man, didn't throw a great pass, but put it in his hands, was able to pick up first down.
Tempo again by the Warriors, and they hand it off to Cole Scott up the middle. He's up to the 45-yard line. A big gain of 10 yards on the first down play. Good blocking by the offensive line. Give the Warriors another, well, they're going to call them short of the first down, so it'll be a 2nd and 1. 9:11 left to go in the half. Again, tempo by the Warriors. Sulphur running around. They look a little confused right now. Handoff goes again to Cole Scott, but he is met by number 42, Grant Flood. He's able to pick up the first down after a gain of 3 yards.
What's Flood listed there? He's a pretty big boy as well.
6 foot 185.
185. They might be undertaking that one a little bit.
Again, Warriors moving with some speed. I like it, Kyle. A lot of speed here by the Warriors.
Yeah, after that last play, Major looked over the sidelines, was telling him hurry up. He's wanting to get the tempo going, get this offense high speed, and catch the Sulphur defense off key. So see if they let Major have his way here.
They send Morris in motion. Fake the handoff on the sweep. He's got a guy open. It's Luke Hendricks at the 15. He stiff arms his way to the 5. Touchdown, Warriors! 42-yard touchdown pass and catch from Cantrell to Hendricks. Ties the game up.
Hendricks open the whole time right there. Ball's underthrown a little bit, TJ. Hendricks comes back to it and was able to get the stiff arm like you talked about and marching in for 6. So that's another thing. You get the ball to those big guys out in the open. The receiving corps is able to make moves and stiff arm people and get the ball in. So
Hegeman with the extra point. A nice extra point that time by Hegeman. It's up and it's good. With 8:22 to go in the first half, the Warriors retake the lead, 14-13. You're watching Warrior football on WashingtonWarriors.tv.
Allegiant Marketing Group produces inbound lead generation for our clients through integrated traditional and digital campaigns. We continuously develop new strategies, tactics, and productive efficiencies so you can reach your target market and get a measurable return on investment. This fast-paced world demands for your products and services to be presented at the moment your buyers need them. Targeted and innovative marketing creates your success. Call AMG today, your marketing partner.
Welcome back to Reed Field. TJ Scholes here with Kyle Harris. Warriors lead 14-13 with 8:22 to go after a nice pitch and catch from sophomore quarterback Major Cantrell to senior wideout Luke Hendricks on a great touchdown run by the senior receiver. Set to kick off is senior number 3, Kobe Scott. Line drive kickoff, recovered by number 2 for Sulphur. He gets ahead of steam, and he just runs as hard as he can to the 30-yard line. That's number 2 for the Bulldogs, Grace Graham. Brought down by number 36, Keller Howard, by Washington.
TJ, see if this Warrior D can set in a little bit. Kind of had some unfortunate penalties last drive. Gave Sulphur about 30 yards of penalties, a couple big first downs, had them pinned, 4th and long, and had the late hit on the quarterback, was able to give them first down, which led to them scoring. So, see if the Warrior defense can key in a little bit. Sulphur hadn't had a good job running the ball up the middle, so we'll see if they look to, spread it out a little bit, try to test this Warrior defense.
First down for the Bulldogs. Mobley takes the snap, hands it off to big number 40. That is number 40, Cole Gentry. Runs right up the middle and is tackled by Rhett Vaughn. Rhett Vaughn with 11 tackles last week against Pawnee at his linebacker position. 4-yard gain brings it second down and 6 for the Bulldogs. Ball is placed at the 35-yard line. 7:50 to go in the first half. Entertaining first half. Bulldogs come out, 2 receivers, 2 tight ends. Running back behind Mobley. Mobley hands it off to number 40, Cole Gentry, and he is smacked by number 33, Lane Spalding, and tossed down. Great job by the senior linebacker. Great to see him on the field last week, Kyle. He's been injured last year for sure, shoulder injury, and he's come out his senior year and able to play. Good to see that.
Definitely good to see him. Credit the official right there for not throwing the flag.
We saw that last week.
They blew that dead a little early and ended up kind of carrying on past the whistle. So Warriors got lucky right there.
Third down, a big third down for Sulphur and the Warrior defense. 3rd and 5 with 7 minutes to go. Sulphur taking their time, trying not to get the ball back to this potent Washington offense. Mobley takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's going to run. And he is stuffed by all the linemen. Number 55, Tanner Winlock, pushing his weight around and clogging it up. Letting his linebackers do the work. Jake Wells in there as well to get the tackle.
Kind of curious to see what Sulphur will do here, TJ. Kind of close to the midfield. Not really 4-down territory, but we'll see if they're punt. Looks like they're going to punt right here.
6:23 to go in the half. The Bulldogs will get the ball to start the second half. They're going to kick it off, or looks like they're going to punt it. Looks like Mobley, Lane Steele, member of the 4x2 state qualifying team, back to receive. Short punt, bounces at the 35-yard line, takes a sideways bounce. Kobe Scott gets out of the way, and it is downed by number 54, Billy Anderson. And that's where the Warriors take over at the 36-yard line.
Pretty quick first half tonight, TJ. 6 minutes left here in the second quarter, but I feel like last week the first 2 quarters just dragged on. It took forever. And but
a lot of penalties last week.
Like you said, pretty quick game tonight.
Looks like the officials are going to give the players a little water break. We'll take one with them. You're watching Warrior Football on WashingtonWarrior.tv.
Darren Beller and Jason Hendricks, owners of Air Product Supply in Goldsview, are proud to sponsor the Washington Warriors on Squirtle for the 2021 season. APS is the regional distributor of Climate Master geothermal heat and air equipment and Lux Air and Oxbox as well. If you are looking for a local heat and air service company, call us at 405-288-0233 and we can put you in contact with the local professional heat and air company. All the employees of APS want to wish Coach Brad Beller and the rest of the Warriors and coaching staff the best of luck this football season. Go Warriors!
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to
Darren Beller and Jason Hendricks
accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance.
First down and 10 for the Warriors. They send Lane Steele in motion. Fake the handoff. They're looking to hit Luke Hendricks on the post route. He makes a guy miss. Makes him miss again. He's at the 30. They're not going to catch him. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Warriors.
It moves, buddy.
64-yard touchdown run by senior Luke Hendricks.
Caught it, gave him one juke. Come at him, put the little shake and bake on him, and he's gone, TJ. That's what we talked about. Get it to these guys in the open field, letting them make their moves. And, you know, this receiving core is deadly in the open field.
Put him in a blender there.
Yeah.
On the kick the extra point is number 14, Sam Hegman. High extra point kick attempt is up, and it's good. With 5:48 to go in the first half, your Washington Warriors lead 21-13. You're watching Washington Warrior football on WashingtonWarrior.tv.
His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
Versatile Networks can handle all of your school or business technology and wiring needs. Expanding into a new building or office space? We would love to give you a free quote for your network wiring. Are your computers outdated? Are your servers slow? Is your network underperforming? Is your wireless network weak? Let Versatile Networks come in and assess the situation and get you back up and running the way you should be. Call Versatile Networks today at 405-217-0267 or visit versatilenetworks.com for more information.
Welcome back to Reed Field. One play, 64 yards, Cantrell to Hendricks. A theme already going on tonight, Kyle.
Yeah, we knew this receiving core. If they can get the ball in their hands, it's going to be a sprint to the finish. But like you said, Sulphur's going to have to make some adjustments.
Kobe Scott with the kickoff down to the 9-yard line. Number 12, Brighton Gaddy, brings it to the 22. A 13-yard kickoff return for the Bulldogs. Have them set up 1st and 10 with 5:43 to go in the first half. Big interview coming up at halftime with Mr. Reynolds, Superintendent of Washington Public Schools. Talk about the school bond coming up. So,
man, how about this field tonight? Still looks good after a week of play. Like you said, they top dressed it last week. Coach K's been spending a lot of time out here mowing. Thing looks like a golf course out here, TJ. It's looking good, about like a college field. And, we'll kind of see as it gets cooler how it dwindles, but they're doing a heck of a job keeping this field in good shape.
Sulphur comes out in their diamond formation. Single receiver to the right. They hand it off to number 24, Cash Matlock, and he is smoked by number 33, Lane Spalding. Lane with a big week last week. He won defensive player of the week last week. He's trying to get second week in a row.
Talked about, man, he's on track to maybe outdo the two older brothers that came before him. That Spalding name has been a force to be reckoned with here in Washington as far as defensive wise and offensive wise, and he's making a name for himself.
Second down and 11 to go for the Bulldogs. Mobley fakes the handoff and he tip-taps it on the line of scrimmage. Waiting for a hole to open, but one doesn't. He doesn't gain any yards on the play and brings up 3rd down and long for the Bulldogs. The Warriors can get the ball back. They can look to score again before the end of the half. 4:44 to go in the first half. Sulphur not built, Kyle, to come back from large deficits. They're a running team, and our defense would love to see them try to pass it on us and get some turnovers. Receiver to each side of the field for the Bulldogs. Mobley takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking to pass. Throws it over the middle, and it's intercepted by Jamison Holland. He breaks the tackle. He's bringing it up the sideline, and he is pushed out of bounds inside the goal, inside the 10-yard line. It'll bring first and goal for the Warriors.
I'll tell you what, TJ, I was watching that play the whole time. Lane snuck over the top. Was going to try to intercept that ball, and Holland went up and got it. Snatched it, went up and got it, man.
Great play by the defensive secondary. Give the Warriors the ball at the 12-yard line with 4:06, and they're smelling blood, Kyle. Warriors come out in their offensive set. .406 to go in the first half. Luke Hendricks spread way out wide to the left. Kobe Scott to the short side of the field. They send Cage Morris in motion. They hand it off to Cole Scott up the middle, and he takes some Bulldogs for a ride. Eventually brought down by number 40, Cole Gentry, the 6'3", 200-pound senior for the Bulldogs.
I'm not sure if they had a little mix-up on plays right there, but looks like the motion guy almost ran in. It was almost like he was off a little bit, TJ, but coaches were kind of looking around too. But, after all that, still a pretty good pickup on first down.
Looks like Cole Scott might have a stinger, and they bring in number 26, Braden Arthur, to replace him. Braden with a nice game last week at the backup running back position. Cantrell takes the snap, hands it off to Arthur, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, keeps his legs going, and he is eventually brought down by number 54, Billy Anderson. That's going to bring up a third down for the Warriors.
Like you said, Arthur got in there quite a bit last week and had a good time. TJ, he's one of them small guys. He can take a hit, keeps his legs moving, and was able, like you said, 53 yards on 5 carries last week. It's average over 10 yards a carry. So he had a big week last week.
Cantrell takes the snap, rolls to the left. He's got receivers wide open. Cage Morris with the touchdown reception for the Warriors.
Got a flag down too. Maybe a late hit on the quarterback.
There is a flag on the back end of the play. We'll have to see what it is. We have holding on the Warriors on the back end.
Maybe I was wrong.
On the right side. That'll just make that passing touchdown a little bit longer, right?
Well, they had several last week too. Major. He had a big week last week, but there was a lot of penalties where a lot of his big gains on passing came back. So we'll just roll with the punches here. Still early in the game, and that's one of the few offensive penalties we've had on that, TJ. So I'm sure they'll talk about a reset and go for a big third down conversion right here.
Warriors going to take a timeout and take one with them. You're watching Warrior football on WashingtonWarriors.tv.
Like the pros with Squirtle Live. Find out more at squirtle.com/stream.
Score that perfect design at Touchdown Graphics just north of the curve in Pond Creek. They offer screen printing and embroidery on t-shirts, shorts, hoodies, and more. Show your spirit for your school, team, club, or special event with a custom design from Touchdown Graphics. Call 580-532-4579 or see them online at touchdowngraphics.com. Touchdown Graphics. It's good.
Well, welcome back to Reed Field. Warriors lead the Sulphur Bulldogs 21-13 with 2:50 to go in the first half. Penalty negated the touchdown pass. It's third and long for the Warriors. Luke Hendricks sped out left, far. And they're throwing the fade pass to Luke. He boxes him out. Oh! Another receiver, Lane Steele, trying to get in there and get that catch, but it's going to be incomplete. Just out the outstretched arms of both receivers, and that's going to bring up fourth down and long.
Like you said, you thought they were throwing the fade right there, but I think that was a design play for Hendricks to stop and Nate to slip in behind him. Ball was overthrown just a hair. So 4 down territory right here. They're definitely not going to try for a field goal. They're going to go for it on 4th down and see if we can get in for 6.
4th down and 15. Warriors can still get a first down. Trying to draw the defense off sides, and they're able to.
That might have been us, though. Let's see.
See what the officials say.
I had the right tackle moving. Let's see what this is. Nope, it was on defense.
5-yard penalty will help the Warriors and bring it to 4th down and 10 now from the 12. Again, if you're a quarterback, you like to have, you really don't care how many yards you have. You feel pretty comfortable with the receiving core that the Warriors have. Kobe Scott and Cage Morris to the right. Lane Steele and Luke Hendricks to the left. Luke with single coverage. They're looking Kobe Scott's direction, though, on jump ball, and is broken up, but there is a penalty. Looks like an offensive lineman moved early this time.
Yeah, going to give it right back to him. Was able to draw the Bulldogs off, and then, next down, hand it right back to him.
2:40 to go.
Too bad you couldn't decline that if you were Sulphur.
Right. The play was blown dead, so. Back to where we started on the previous play. Warriors have the ball now back at the 17-yard line. 4th and 15. Same formation by the Warriors. It's like they have single coverage on both outside receivers. Low snap and another penalty on the Warriors. And this drive just might need to end pretty quickly for Washington.
Yeah,
Kyle?
giving it right back to him. Keep moving them chains back, so we'll see. Like you said, with this receiving core we've got, they've thrown 2 D balls right here. I'm sure they're going to do more of the same. So might look to slip something in, a 5 or a 10-yard pass here and see if they can pick up the extra. But we'll see what Coach Beller comes up with on a 3rd and say
trip receivers to the right. And now we got, I'm not sure what's going on. Looks like we got a timeout by Sulphur.
I think Sulphur was trying to get lined up, didn't like what they had, and get a timeout. So we'll take one with them right here. Be back on WashingtonWarriors.tv.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
When it comes to cellular service, why pay for data you don't use? Pioneer Cellular offers a variety of plans designed to give you the lowest prices on the data you and the others on your plan really need. That's why people all over are switching to Pioneer. Pioneer Cellular can save you money on your family plan, no matter how you define family. Do the math. Visit our website at gopioneer.com, call us at 800-641-2732, or stop by a local Pioneer store. Find out how much we can save you.
Big 4th down play for the Washington Warriors. 4th down and 20 with 2:39 to go in the half. 3 receivers to the right. Sulphur coming back in basically a prevent defense. Cantrell's just going to throw it up and hope something happens, and it is intercepted in the end zone. No harm, no foul, though. In fact, that's probably better than it being incomplete because now Sulphur will take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, really no loss, no gain right there. I mean, we were on the 22. They're going to turn it back over on the 20.
That's
so like
net 2 yards. We gained 2 yards on that arm punt by Cantrell. And the Bulldogs take over, up 21-13 over Sulphur. That's the right score, right? I think that's the right score. 2:33 to go in the first half. We'll see what the Bulldogs choose to do with 2:33 to go in the first half from their own 20-yard line. Mobley set to take the snap. Hands it off. And the Warriors are hitting hard now.
Who's that on bottom had him wrapped up? 50? Is that 50 or 50?
Spalding there again. And Reese Stevens trying to get in a piece of that action. Spalding trying to shake that shoulder loose a little bit, it looks like. He says he's good. Lineman doing a good job of plugging the holes. Number 50, like you said, Kyle, would be
Spalding.
Nathan Spalding, younger brother Spalding, like that we were talking about, that Spalding. We got 4 brothers from the Spalding family, played for the Warriors. Milner, the other defensive end position. 1:51 to go in the first half. Mobley takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and he's looking for someone to run, and guess who's there? Lane Spalding again. Coach Beller calls a timeout. He's wanting to score quick. He's wanting to get the ball back to his offense and get another score in before the half.
50 tackles this week. That's about his 10th tonight. So.
Yep. Well, they take timeout. We'll take one with them. You're watching Warrior football on WashingtonWarriors.tv.
Great Plains Land Company came together out of a desire to return to what a land company should be, a client-centered organization as passionate about the land as you are. Land is not something we deal with from 8 to 5. Land is truly our passion. Whether you are looking for your dream property or listing a property, you need an experienced land specialist working for you. We invite you to call our Great Plains Land team today at 405-761-4808.
Welcome back to Reed Field, Washington, Oklahoma. TJ Scholes here with Kyle Harris. 1:36 to go in the first half. The Warriors lead 21-13. Sulphur with a big third down play after a Warrior timeout. A big third down play right here after the timeout by the Washington Warriors to stop the clock. They come out with trips receivers to the left. Mobley takes a snap, high snap, hands it off to number 40. And nothing's doing.
Ready for a loss.
Again, defensive line. Nathan Spalding and Hayden Milner, the two bookends of the defense, meeting in the backfield and slowing down the running back for Sulphur, number 40, Cole Gentry, for a loss on the play, and it's going to bring up a punting situation for the Bulldogs. Warriors take a timeout, and we'll stay here with them. Kyle? Couple big plays by the Warrior offense is giving them this 21-13 lead. Be interesting to see what they do with the ball here once they get it with 1:30 to go in the half.
Yeah, Coach Beller, like you said, he's trying to get the ball back in our hands. We've scored on one play tonight, and with this ability of this offense, able to score quick. So, try to get a big stop right here on defense and get the ball back in our hands. Still a lot of time left, 1:31. Warriors still have 2 timeouts left, so plenty of time to work with, and the speed of this offense, they might be able to get some points on the board.
But he's also thinking, that Sulphur does get the ball to start the second half, so there's no need. This game is far from over. It's only a one-possession game.
If you can get that 2-score cushion, you're feeling a lot better coming out second half.
Because you never know what's going to happen in the halftime adjustments. Mobley back to punt at his own goal line. Lane Steele at the 40. Pressure. It's a low, wobbly kick. Steele picks it up off the bounce. He's at the 30. He's trying to get to the right side, but he is brought down by number 54, Billy Anderson. Good field position by the Warriors. They're going to start their possession at the 31-yard line of Sulphur. So very good opportunity for the Warriors to punch one in with 1:23 left to go in the first half.
Yeah, 1:23. I remember back in high school, every practice, you had about 10 minutes, a 2-minute offense that you were running plays nonstop for these type of scenarios, and we'll see what Coach Beller has drawn up. And like I said, a lot of time, 2 timeouts, 1:23, so they've got plenty of time here.
3 receivers to the left. Kobe Scott is the single receiver to the right. Cantrell takes a snap. He's looking left to Luke Hendricks on the bubble screen. Luke tries to make a man miss, but he is brought down at the 29-yard line by number 12, Brighton Gaddy. Clock is running.
So coach is there wanting him to get upfield and get out of bounds. He cut it back right there. So Warriors going to have to go a little tempo here, get it going, and see what they have.
Warriors get set up, spread formation. Running back is Cole Scott to the left. Sulphur trying to get organized. And now there's a flag. It's going to be an offensive penalty. Still plenty of time. They only have 30 yards to go to get a touchdown, and more than likely going to be passing it. So
yeah, but you don't want penalties to slow you down. We saw last drive had several penalties that got them way behind the sticks, weren't able to dig themselves out of that hole. So, you know, you want to keep the tempo going, keep offense moving, limit the penalties, and try to move the ball downfield.
now the ref's just blowing the whistle for the fun of it. It looks like. What do they got here? Oh, the white hat has not blown the call or blown the snap in. Gets the clock rolling. Warriors need to try to snap it as quick as they can. 47 seconds in running in the first half. Cantrell takes a snap. He looks for Scott on the dig route. He makes a guy miss. He's at the 30, 25, 20. He's running with some power at the 10, 5, and he fumbles it out of bounds. Looks like he was out of bounds already, thankfully. 2-yard line where the clock will stop and bring up first and goal for the Warriors. Kobe looking for that second touchdown of the evening tonight.
You saw that speed. He got the ball in the backfield. TJ was able to make one or two guys miss, hit that sideline, turned on the burners, was able to make it down to about the 2-yard line where he fumbled it out. But Warriors, first and goal right here.
Cantrell takes a snap and they hand it off, and he is stopped in the backfield by number 54, Billy Anderson. I think they've used all their timeouts, Kyle. I think that's just the score clock messed up. But they have, again, plenty of time. Going to have to pass it on this down, though, with 18 seconds and counting. Cantrell takes the snap, and they hand it off. Wow. Touchdown, Warriors! 3-yard touchdown run by Cole Scott. Gutsy call there.
Yeah, gutsy call. Like you said, they were going to try to, you even called it out before the play, TJ. Going to have to pass here, incompletion is going to stop the clock, but like you said, gutsy call by Coach Beller, going with the run up the middle. That just shows what kind of trust he has in his running backs and offensive line.
Extra point is up, and it's no good. With 10 seconds left to go, Warriors lead 27-13. You're watching Warrior football on WashingtonWarriors.tv.
Allegiant Marketing Group produces inbound lead generation for our clients through integrated traditional and digital campaigns. We continuously develop new strategies, tactics, and productive efficiencies so you can reach your target market and get a measurable return on investment. This fast-paced world demands for your products and services to be presented at the moment your buyers need them. Targeted and innovative marketing creates your success. Call AMG today, your marketing partner.
Welcome back to Reed Field. TJ Scholes, Kyle Harris. Warriors with a 3-yard touchdown run by Cole Scott. Give them a 2-score lead, 27-13, with 10 seconds left to go in the first half. Again, fans, if you're watching at home, be sure to stay tuned at halftime. We have a big-time interview with Superintendent Mr. Reynolds of Washington Public Schools. Talk about our upcoming bond issue. Set to kick is number 3, Kobe Scott. Back to receive, number 1, Mace Mobley. And number 12, Britton Gaddy. Scott with the pooch kick to Gaddy. Gaddy picks it up at the 15-yard line. He's looking for room to run. He is stuffed by a host of Warriors. Knocked down at the 23-yard line. Looks like number 4, Cole Beller, and number 28, Jake Coles, in the mix as well. And number 11, Case Taylor. 5 seconds left to go in the first half. You would assume the Bulldogs would just take a knee, right?
You think that, but
I assume the Warriors are going to pass it last down.
Defensive-wise, you're going to give them one of my favorite calls, no doubles right here. You don't want to give up anything big, but like you said, you'd expect for them to just, take out the 5 seconds here, maybe try a run play and go in.
Handoff does go to number 32 for the Bulldogs. That is Coy Myers, and he is brought down by Lane Spalding again. his name didn't hold a lot, but the Warriors go into the half with a 27-13 lead over the Sulphur Bulldogs. When we come back, we'll have Mr. Reynolds, Superintendent of Washington Public Schools, on the call. You're watching Warrior Football on WashingtonWarriors.tv.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
Versatile Networks can handle all of your school or business technology and wiring needs. Expanding into a new building or office space? We would love to give you a free quote for your network wiring. Are your computers outdated? Are your servers slow? Is your network underperforming? Is your wireless network weak? Let Versatile Networks come in and assess the situation and get you back up and running the way you should be. Call Versatile Networks today at 405-217-0267 or visit versatilenetworks.com for more information.
Welcome, Warrior fans, to halftime. Warriors lead 27-13 over the Sulphur Bulldogs. Pleased to have Superintendent of Washington Public Schools, Mr. Reynolds, here with us at a halftime. Mr. Reynolds, good night for football, right?
Oh, great night. Weather's worked out. We got a little bit of cool now that the sun's down. Getting ready to watch some band play and hopefully have another great second half with defense pretty much shutting things down and offense kind of having their way. I know Sulphur's a great team, so I expect them to come back and give us their all.
Exactly. Lots of big things happening around Washington Public Schools. Washington starting school, we're 4 weeks in now, been busy. Lots of happenings. We got band, we got sports, we got ag, we got academic bowl starting next week. We also have a bond issue coming up. And so why don't you talk a little bit about what we got coming for this bond? I know we had a meeting on Monday for the community.
Sure. We had our first community meeting was Monday night. We have additional meetings coming up. Next one will be on September the 14th at 6 p.m. in the cafeteria. That'll be our PTO meeting. We're going to go over bond as well as many other things on that evening. So not just our elementary parents, but anybody in the community who wants to come out and hear about the bond, and I would invite them. Also on Tuesday, September the 28th, we're going to be at the Goldsby Community Center building at 6 p.m. We're going to have a similar conversation there. Would love people to come out and after the presentation ask whatever questions they might want to know so that they can be prepared to vote. We've got a fall vote of October the 12th, a pretty ambitious bond ahead of us, and you're looking there at the screen at our first slide. It kind of shows in the blue all of the new structures or buildings that we will be building or proposing to build if this bond was to pass or when this bond passed. Just like with any other school bond, we need 60% of the folks who show up on a given day, which will be October 12th, to vote yes in order to proceed with this bond. Like I said, it's very ambitious. It's a $24.5 million bond. It's heavy emphasis on classroom space, and if we could go to the first or the next slide, I can kind of talk through there. Heavy emphasis at our elementary, and so what you're looking at here is a rendering. All of these are conceptual renderings that we'll show you tonight of what we hope would be the new front of the elementary, with basically coming off the main road, building in a loop drive for drop-off, which if you drop students off in our school district right now at the elementary level, you certainly know we need an additional drop-off space. Yep. So we can get about 75 to 80 vehicles in this queuing area here, so we can divide our drop-off for elementary into 2 different locations. This will give us about 13 brand new classrooms, a new office suite, new teacher's lounge area, just kind of freshen up the front and give us the space that we need to be able to expand our school district. That's the whole goal of this bond. If we build these classes, then we can consolidate some of our other buildings, and we could take our 4th and 5th grade students, which are presently in a different building, and move them to this area. And give that building the 4th and 5th grade currently is in over to middle school. So through this bond, every grade level will advance in class space. So middle school will get an entire building of at least 8 classes, so they'll go up about 5 to 6 classes versus what they have now. And the high school will as well, because the middle school will be vacating some space.
Well, you can talk about to the fans, like how much the community is growing right now. Like I know that we started off like the ADM. Every coach looks at the ADM in July and sees what class they might be in. And, you know, we were at 300 and something. And then when our final enrollment numbers came in, we were at 350. So we were a 3A school before ADMs. Like when ADMs were announced, if they were to take ADM now, we might be a 4A school, right?
We have grown drastically this summer. It's very pronounced. I've been here going on my 4th year. We've not had a summer like this before. We knew it was coming. It was just a matter of time. All you got to do is look at the home building permits in our community, not just housing conditions, but just individual property owners to see that. And it finally hit us this summer. We enrolled, or our enrollment is up, I should say, about 138 students. We ended last school year at 1,009, and we started the school year this year at 1,139 students. That was day one. So we enrolled a ton of new folks over the summer months, and most of it is just people building homes and joining our community. And we want to welcome them with open arms, but we want to make sure everyone, both our students that we've had forever and our new folks in the community, have a solid place to go to.
Exactly.
And right now, every class is full. We literally have every single classroom in this district utilized with the classroom in it. We also are using some auxiliary spaces. We have a class in our Warrior Indoor facility that we have a coach, I guess, who has a class there every period at the high school level. We have an elementary teacher teaching in the back of the old gym.
You'd like to have them in a contained space along with all the other kids, right?
Absolutely. We want to cut down on outside walking space as much as we possibly can, and we want to have some cohesiveness to the school district. Now, this next picture that you're looking at here basically shows what we would do to replace the old gym at the elementary as well as our auditorium. Both of those facilities have had a long life to them, and it's time to move on from those structures to make better improvements for all of our students. And so what we're proposing to do is basically replace those 2 facilities with one, and we're going to build a multi-purpose space that will be both a PE space for elementary students as well as a place for performances. So we're putting in a full performance stage. Drama has become really big in this community in the last couple of years at the secondary level, and elementary music as well. And so we want a professional place for our students to perform. So we're building this so that it can be used for both. And so we appreciate that concept from those that helped us come up with the designs, and it's kind of a 2-in-1 building. And then this next building you're seeing here basically is additional classrooms that we're going to add, hopefully, to the back of the school building. And then right there, kind of off in the center, you see kind of a tan building. That square is going to be a brand new media center, and for the first time ever, we will have a storm shelter for our Washington elementary students. Presently, they have to leave the elementary building to get to a safer place, and so it'll be really nice that we can build them a structure that can have a dual purpose. Again, it can be used during the day as a media center and a library, but in the event of an emergency, we have a storm shelter that we can put our entire elementary in. We'll be able to hold up to 700 people in that, and so we're building it for growth, because certainly we don't have 700 elementary students presently, but we want to be ready for when we do.
Yeah, you don't want to be regress. I mean, you want to be proactive in that and not want to wait until something happens. You want to make sure that you have it when it occurs, because it's more than likely going to occur, right?
Oh, absolutely. And by adding these 2 additions on at the elementary, we'll gain enough space to move the 4th and 5th grade up, plus we'll have a little bit of room for growth. And growth is certainly coming. We've seen that this summer, and we know it's going to even more in the future. We've got at least 3 additions that are platted out, roads being built right now that are going to bring us in close to 1,000 homes. It's just a matter of economics and timing on when all that's going to happen. But we have homes going up around us all the time, so we want to be ready. This next building I'm really excited about. A lot of times people see this and they think, oh, you're turfing the football field and you're putting a new athletic facility in at the football field. It is a building at the football field, and it does have a lot of the things that we presently have in our field house down at the end zone on the west side of the football field. In other words, it's still going to have concession, it's still going to have restrooms, but the majority of the rest of this building will be a brand new fine arts facility for our band students. Our band students right now are basically housed in what used to be a pre-first classroom, and so we've outgrown that, and we would like to offer them a space that is adequate. And as we transition to this next slide, you can see a rendering of what the inside of that might look like. And so that garage door you're looking at there would open up directly to the football field area, so the students would have access. It's not just football that utilizes this field. Certainly band and the marching band is a huge part of our campus and our history here, and we want them to be close to the field that they need to be on a regular basis. Right now, if you get here in the morning, our kids, they're going all the way down to the WEC. It's probably close to 300 to 400 yards walk from the band room just to where they practice. So we're trying to eliminate that for safety purposes in the parking lot, as well as just simply for heat and logistics and all that, and get them closer to the facilities that they're going to utilize in competition.
Right. What I like most about this building is they're just going to be able to walk right out from their building onto the football field and perform.
Absolutely. That's the purpose. And then this last rendering here shows a facility that hopefully we're all familiar with here at Washington. A great addition to our community from the last bond, which is our Warrior Event Center. And all we're going to do is add a small addition onto the southeast corner of the building, and it's going to be a multi-purpose space that we can utilize to avoid the conflicts that we presently have with our winter sports, where we overlap predominantly between basketball and cheer, but sometimes even with things like ag.
Right.
And so we want to be able to have a space that no matter what's going on in the community, whether it's a banquet, whether it's an ag event where they want to do a showcase of some kind, or whether it's a cheer competition, or even Little League basketball for that matter, we have a multi-purpose space that we can put them in. So this is basically a metal building. It's a shell of a building that will have access to the WEC, so you can come in and out through there. And again, it'll help us to have that shared space so we're not stepping on top of each other's toes in our competitions on a daily basis, even with practice.
What I like about this is that it's covering a wide array of different areas that are needed. You have your classroom space you're gonna have to expand at some point in time, and then you have your auditorium that it needs to be improved, and your band room gets addressed, and your cheerleading gets addressed, and so everybody gets a little bit of piece of the pie, and so it's a great opportunity for our voters to go out there and decide for themselves on how to impact this community.
Absolutely. This last slide, which you guys can see on our website, all these slides are available, just kind of shows the phasing. This is basically a 2.5-year build or a 2-year build, somewhere in that range. Probably going to cover a 3-year span before we actually get into all of the buildings as far as school years. So I appreciate the time tonight. Would like to turn it over and let our band be seen a little bit here.
For sure.
Thank you again for your time, and if you want to come out, please come see us at our community meetings.
Well, thank you for the interview, Mr. Reynolds, and have a good night. Hope the Warriors can finish off this victory.
That's right. Go Warriors.
Let's hear it once again for the Washington Warriors High School Marching Band.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
Versatile Networks can handle all of your school or business technology and wiring needs. Expanding into a new building or office space? We would love to give you a free quote for your network wiring. Are your computers outdated? Are your servers slow? Is your network underperforming? Is your wireless network weak? Let Versatile Networks come in and assess the situation and get you back up and running the way you should be. Call Versatile Networks today at 405-217-0267 or visit versatilenetworks.com for more information.
Stream like the pros with Squirtle Live. Find out more at squirtle.com/stream.
Score that perfect design at Touchdown Graphics just north of the curve in Pond Creek. They offer screen printing and embroidery on t-shirts, shorts, hoodies, and more. Show your spirit for your school, team, club, or special event with a custom design from Touchdown Graphics. Call 580-532-4579 or see them online at touchdowngraphics.com. Touchdown Graphics. It's good.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
When it comes to cellular service,
Owners of Air Product Supply in Goldsview are proud to sponsor the Washington Warriors on Squirtle for the 2021 season. APS is the regional distributor of Climate Master geothermal heat and air equipment and Lux Air and Oxbox as well. If you are looking for a local heat and air service company, call us at 405-288-0233 and we can put you in contact with the local professional heat and air company. All the employees of APS want to wish Coach Brad Beller and the rest of the Warriors and coaching staff the best of luck this football season. Go Warriors!
Welcome back to Reed Field. TJ Scholes here with Kyle Harris. Warriors lead 27-13 at halftime over the Sulphur Bulldogs. A couple minutes left to go in the halftime. We're going to send it to Kyle. Kyle's got some first half stats for us.
We'll start out with Sulphur in the first half. Total offensive yards, 165, TJ. Key in right here. Rushing yards, 165 on the ground, 0 passing. So that's a big deal for the Warrior D. Kind of got it keyed in there and was able to capitalize on slowing that Sulphur offense down. That's not a bad half, 165 yards rushing.
Well, one of them 91-yard touchdown run by the quarterback.
So big run. So that's almost a little under a half of that on that one run alone. But flip it over to Washington. Had 51 yards rushing, 217 passing, TJ. Big night for passing for this Warrior offense in the first half. 266 total. Cantrell, 9 for 12, 217 yards passing with one interception.
Which the interception was on a 4th down and long, so it was just a
pretty much a good punt,
basically.
like we called it. Penalty yards here. This is a big stickler because this really stalled out our one drive there that put the Warriors behind the sticks. 6 penalties for 45 yards. Had 2 penalties back to back. One of them, put us way behind the sticks. Gave them an automatic first down when we were holding them there.
And they scored on that one.
And they ended up scoring on that with the second penalty. They kind of neglected to get them in the red zone. Was able to punch that in. So, like I said, a little bit to clean up on, but not a bad half. Passing and rushing wise to be able to hang your hat on. 2-score lead here. I'm sure Coach Beller feels a lot better. Like you said, with a 2-score lead, could have been 1, but Coach Beller got a timeout right there and put the ball back in our offensive team. Was able to get in for another score. So, like I said, Warriors on top, 2 scores here coming in the second half. So
very good clock management by the coaches there. Able to score with less than a minute to go. They were able to get the ball back and get a touchdown in to give them a 2-score lead. Interesting to see what Sulphur does defensively to change things up. You know, we said that they had 200 yards passing. You would think that they might have to try to cover that, cover the receivers a little bit better, and maybe try to see if they can stop the Washington run. But as of last week, with Cole Scott, 130 yards almost on the ground on 11 carries, it's kind of like a pick your poison.
Yeah, and like you said, TJ, pick your poison there. We've got 3 good receivers options to go to, but like you said, you start spreading out trying to cover those guys. Like you said, that opens up Scott in the middle for to be able to do a little ground and pound on them. So, like you said, they've got a tough decision to make which way they want to go to try to slow this Warrior O down. But like you said, I'm kind of curious to see what they'll come out with here in the second half.
I want to thank Mr. Reynolds again for the interview discussing the bond issue. From the screen here, you guys can see. If you guys have any questions, fans, please come to these meetings. The administration and schools trying to be as transparent as possible. Let the public know about what the school board is about or the bond issue is about. So have your questions ready and come. You got a couple chances here before the bond issue on October 12th. The bond needs a 60% percentage of supermajority to pass. And so anyway, we just want to make sure that everybody is aware of what the bond is for and how the monies will be spent. And over the course of the bond, as the property taxes, as the more houses come here, less the property taxes become because you just have more people paying for them.
Yeah, and like you said, it was good of the soup to come up here and talk about this, TJ.
Yep.
The community's kind of been, there's not really a lot of information out there of what's been on. Like you said, got 2 meetings coming up, so, if you got questions, make sure you go and get the info there and voice, ask questions,
right.
Find out what's going on. But like you said, that was great of the soup coming up here and really kind of giving us the first look of, what's to come here on this bond issue.
Well, as both teams start to wind down this halftime warm-up, again, the Warriors lead 27-13. The Bulldogs will receive the second half kickoff. Warriors really flexed their defensive muscle towards the end of that second quarter, and kind of made the Bulldogs have to, rely on the pass a little bit, and that's not one of their strengths. So we're going to take a short timeout. We'll be back with the kickoff of the second half. You're watching Warrior football on WashingtonWarriors.tv.
Why pay for data you don't use? Pioneer Cellular offers a variety of plans designed to give you the lowest prices on the data you and the others on your plan really need. That's why people all over are switching to Pioneer. Pioneer Cellular can save you money on your family plan, no matter how you define family. Do the math. Visit our website at gopioneer.com. Call us at 800-641-2732 or stop by a local Pioneer store. Find out how much we can save you.
Welcome back to Reed Field. Washington leads the Sulphur Bulldogs 27-13. Beginning of the third quarter about to happen.
Sulphur begin the ball first here, like we talked about. It was really good for the Warriors to get that score right there before half, be a 2-possession lead because, like you said, we knew coming out Sulphur was going to get first dibs on the ball right here.
Well, you never know what kind of adjustments are made at halftime too. So the closer this game is, the more it benefits the Bulldogs because just from the first half, it looks like the Warriors have the better team on the field, offensively and defensively. They've been able to stop Sulphur as of late. They gave up one big play, a 91-yard touchdown run by Mobley, and then the other possession they scored on, there was a 4th down penalty, roughing the passer that on a pass that had already sailed over the head of the defender, and so no need to hit the quarterback. And and then is also aided by a face mask penalty to keep them in the 1st and goal, and they were able to score on that. So Warriors got to clean up those penalties, and again, that touchdown before the half really is going to pay dividends going into the second half. Set to kick for the Warriors looks like freshman Mason Thomas. Thomas, more of the pooch style kicker, doesn't have as much of a distance as Kobe Scott, but does have a lot of hang time, so they're going with a little bit different strategy. You can see Sulphur creeping up to the 25-yard line, 10-yard line for the new kicker. Thomas does get a good leg on it, though, and Mobley takes it at the 15. He's going left to right, and he makes a couple of guys miss, but he's brought down by number 12, Cage Morris, by the Washington Warriors, and the Bulldogs will take over at the 30-yard line of Sulphur.
See Cage Morris coming in with the stop there, TJ. There's a lot of guys that start on both sides of the ball that are also on special teams. Usually it's a mix of younger guys, you know, that don't get to play a whole lot on the special team the coaches like. But like you said, pretty good mix of guys right here that we've got on special teams and some guys that go both ways.
Sulphur comes out with 2 tight ends and 2 receivers. They hand it off to number 40 for the Bulldogs, Cole Gentry. He bounces around, tries to gain a yard. Doesn't look like he's able to get any, and Lane Spalding there again to meet him in the backfield.
Yeah, like you said, Sulphur's going to have to find a way to get outside the tackles, TJ. Warrior D has found a way to close that gap in and stuff everything up the middle. So we'll see if they continue to go up the middle or if they try to stretch this thing out a little bit.
That's a good call, Kyle. Both their long runs have been on zone keepers by the quarterback to the outside. Mobley takes a snap, and he hands it off to number 4, Braden Standifer, and he is able to get to the outside on the left side. Gain about 15 yards, gives the Bulldogs a first down. Number 22, Reese Stevens, there for the Warriors to stop Standifer. Again, stretch play to the left. Enabled the running back to get to the outside like you were mentioning, Kyle. Diamond formation by the Bulldogs. They hand it off to Gentry. Now he's running to the right. He is drugged down by Hayden Milner of the Warriors. No gain on the play.
I like that right there, defensive end. That used to be my position. I like that. You know, try to get the edge, and that defensive end comes upfield, stretches out a little bit, and makes a big play. Let your other defenders close in, and you got to like that in the defensive end.
2nd down and 10 with 10.5 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. Mobley gets the play from the coaches on the sideline and takes it to the huddle. They're going 3 receivers to the left, including big number 84 tight end Brandon Lloyd. They run a little counter play to the running back, and he is stuffed. Number 53 for the Warriors, Caleb Bruce there. Caleb Bruce making his first appearance of the season this game.
Yeah, he didn't play last week, did he?
Nursing a little bit of an injury, but not necessarily needed last week, so keeping the big defensive tackle.
It's good to see him back out, though. That's a big name we heard a lot of last year, and you know that's good. You can give that guy a first week rest. I'm sure he didn't want to take a rest, but Coach Beller was probably pretty content with sticking to his guns. And like I said, it's good seeing him back out on the field.
3rd and 8 for the Bulldogs. 3 receivers to the left. Running back flank behind. They're running a bubble screen. Warriors have it sniffed out, and Rhett Vaughn there to make the tackle on number 12, Britton Gaddy. A loss of 1 will bring up a 4th down. Good defensive possession to start the second half for the Warriors.
Yeah, close in on him, and then also let Jake in there help him out a little bit, wrap him up behind the line, and Jake coming in close it out. So, like I said, 4th down and about 11 or 12 right here. Sulphur's going to punt it away, get this Warrior O back on the field.
Lane Steele set up at his own 29-yard line, awaiting the Mace Mobley kick. Mobley takes the snap. High punt. Steele's just going to let it bounce. And takes one bounce and catches at the 25. He's going up the right side. He's at the 30. And he is tripped up by number 32, Connor Gober.
Lane was trying to figure out if he wanted to catch that or not. It hung up there for a while, and then it took that big high bounce. But I saw Lane take that extra peek, and, it didn't have nobody around him, so go ahead and scoop that up, try to make a little bit out of it.
Yeah, if you can get the opportunity to recover it, you don't want it to bounce. It looked like it could have bounced all the way down to the 10 if you'd have let it roll. So good play there by the senior receiver / cornerback. Might have opportunities to play at the next level. He's a dream to go to Air Force, and he's taking those first steps so far.
Tell you what, he's putting together a pretty good highlight film to be able to try to make that squad, so that'll be pretty cool.
Cantrell brings his crew out. 3 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right is Kobe Scott. Cole Scott lined up to the left of Cantrell. He fakes the handoff, throws it to Cade Norman in the slot. He makes the guy miss. He's at the 50, the 45, 40, 35, 30, 20, 10, touchdown Warriors. This one is going to be brought back, though.
Yeah, you saw Luke right there. When it's that far behind the play, it don't matter if it's to the side, TJ. They're going to call if it's that obvious. So kind of unfortunate there, way behind the play, but they're going to get Hendricks for a block in the back.
Hendricks might owe Cade Norman a Sonic drink of sorts for taking away that long touchdown catch and pass from Cantrell to Cade Norman.
Little different look there. We haven't seen really a pass all year to Cade. Kind of slipped him out of the slot right there into the open area, and was able to get it to him.
It looks similar to, the formations that they would run last year with their tight end.
Yep.
Kelton Schultz a lot in that Beggs game off of that little slip pass, and they hit Cade Norman that time. Coaches might have saw that at halftime and were saving it. It's going to bring up a first down, though, 1st and 1 for the Warriors. Low snap, and Cantrell just has to fall on it. I was talking with Easton this week, and he said it feels like the issue is if he doesn't get a wide grip on the football, then he tends to throw it a little short like that. So going to have to make sure he fixes that.
Young kid, though. He's got room for a lot of improvement. Been pretty solid the first half compared to last week. Had a bunch of those last week. I'm sure they worked on that all week at practice, TJ, and he's going to take the coaching and continue to improve throughout the year. So
2nd and 4 for the Warriors. Spread formation. They send Steele in motion. They hand it off to Cole Scott. He looks for a hole. Now he busts through. He's at the 50. Cuts back to the left. He's at the 45, 30, 20. He cuts back up to the middle. He tries to run a man over, and he is in. Touchdown Warriors! 61-yard touchdown gallop by junior Cole Scott.
Big play right there. Got down the field, kept looking for his hole, like you said. He kind of had to slow up a little bit, let his blockers catch up, and kind of tiptoed back, made a cut, and was able to power that in for a 6.
Strong running by Cole Scott gives the Warriors a 33-13 lead over the Bulldogs. Sam Hegeman in for the extra point. Hendricks takes the snap. Kick is up, and it's good. With 7:23 to go in the 3rd quarter. Your Washington Warriors lead 34-13. You're watching Warrior football on WashingtonWarriors.tv.
Great Plains Land Company came together out of a desire to return to what a land company should be, a client-centered organization as passionate about the land as you are. Land is not something we deal with from 8 to 5. Land is truly our passion. Whether you are looking for your dream property or listing a property, you need an experienced land specialist working for you. We invite you to call our Great Plains Land team today at 405-761-4808.
Welcome back to Reed Field, Warrior fans. Washington leads 34-13 over Class 3A Sulphur. Kobe Scott set to kick off. Short kick. Sulphur gets the ball at the 10-yard line and is smashed. Number 28, Jake Coles, and number 11, Case Taylor, along with number 4, Cole Bettler, there on the special teams play to stop the Bulldogs at the 25-yard line. Good play by the special teams there, Kyle.
Yeah, I got little Jake Coles getting in on that too, coming in there and closing it up. So a lot of young guys on this special temes, and they have the ability to get on the field and close in on some guys.
Bulldogs take over at the 27-yard line. No go. Shotgun formation. Mobley takes the snap, fakes the handoff, tries to get to the outside, bounces it to the outside, and he is met by Lane Steele on the perimeter. No gain on the play, even a 1-yard loss. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 11 with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. If Sulphur doesn't find a way to kill some clock or score on this drive, it's going to get
might get
ugly.
out of hand. Washington gets one more. It might be the nail in the coffin. So see if they can come up with something. Still got second and about 11 right here.
Warriors creeping up to the line of scrimmage, anticipating run. They fake the handoff. Spalding's in the backfield, so is Milner, but he misses him. He's going to the left. Now he's got his legs going. He's at the 45, 45, and he is brought down by Lane Steele. Looked like there was a flag, but I do not see one. That nice run by the quarterback gives the Bulldogs a first down. 2 chances for the Warriors in the backfield to get him down, though.
Yeah, taking a chance right there. Mace got out in the open. You said Lane brought him down. I think he brought Lane down.
Might be right.
You don't see a quarterback laying the shoulder down, but good run right there for the Bulldogs. Brings up a 1st and 10.
Sulphur comes out with receiver on each end, tight end on each end. They hand it off to the running back, number 32, Coy Myers. He is met at the line of scrimmage. It's like Caleb Bruce and Nathan Spalding there, along with Rhett Vaughn on the stop by the Warriors. 1-yard gain makes it 2nd down and 9 for the Bulldogs.
It's been good to have that depth in the middle, be able to sub these guys in and out, keep fresh legs in, and like you said, Sulphur's had a tough time keeping the ball in between the tackles tonight.
Yeah, we have Tanner Winlock and Nathan.
Credit those big boys up front.
Tanner Winlock and Nathan Rainey are also usually in the mix there. 2nd down and 9 for the Bulldogs. Handoff goes to Gentry. He's met up the middle again.
Somebody's coming out.
Caleb Bruce and Jake Wells, both there. Brucey lost his hat, so number 55, Tanner Winlock, in there to help him out. 3rd and long for the visitors. Ball is at the 49-yard line of Sulphur. 4:45 to go in the third quarter. Defensive solidified themselves on the missed tackles from the first half. Sulphur comes out with their big tight end on the right. Looks like they might try to isolate him. Instead, they're going left. They're looking left. More missed tackles in the backfield. Mobley's able to make some guys miss, and he's able to get 6 or 7 yards before being tackled by Reese Stevens.
Got a breakdown there right there. TJ had 3 guys that whiffed and missed in the backfield, was able to pick up almost a first down and come up about 4th and 1 right here. But, you know, if those guys could have closed in the backfield, it could have been a big loss.
4th and 1. Sulphur trying to quell the momentum of the Warriors. They come out in their diamond formation. Mobley takes the snap, hands it off to Braden Standifer, and he's able to spin himself free for a 5-yard gain before being knocked down by Lane Spalding. That'll give the Bulldogs a first down and a little bit of life, Kyle.
Yeah, great play call right there. They've haven't had success in between the tackles. Was able to bounce that outside and pick up about 5 or 6 yards for a big first down right there on fourth down for the Bulldogs. Bring up a big first down, but Warriors gonna have to try to come up with a stop right here. Bulldogs putting together a pretty good drive.
Taking a little bit of clock off, so that helps the Warriors. The Bulldogs have the ball at the Washington 38-yard line. Again in the diamond formation. Handoff goes to number 32, and he's met back with the
Ball's out. I think we got it.
And we do. Lane Spalding with the fumble recovery for the Warriors. Great defensive stop there by Washington. Ends the drive of the Bulldogs.
When things aren't going your way, they're putting some pressure on you. Come up with the turnover. You see Warriors forced a fumble right there and get their O back on the field. Big stop for the Warrior defense.
First and 10.
Warriors will take over at the 40-yard line. Looks like Coach Beller calling his troops over. And looks like they might be taking a water break. We'll take a break with them. You're watching Warrior football on WashingtonWarriors.tv.
Darren Beller and Jason Hendricks, owners of Air Product Supply in Goldsview, are proud to sponsor the Washington Warriors on Squirtle for the 2021 season. APS is the regional distributor of Climate Master geothermal heat and air equipment and Lux Air and Oxbox as well. If you are looking for a local heat and air service company, call us at 405-288-0233 and we can put you in contact with the local professional heat and air company. All the employees of APS want to wish Coach Brad Beller and the rest of the Warriors and coaching staff the best of luck this football season. Go Warriors!
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and
First down and 10 for the Warriors. They come out and 3 receivers to the left. Cantrell takes a snap. Hands it off to Cole Scott, and he makes a couple guys miss. Now he's breaking it back to the right. He's got a load of blockers in front of him. He is tripped up by number 23 for the Bulldogs, Ben McGill, able to pick up a good chunk of yardage on that first down play and give the Warriors another first down, Kyle.
Yeah, great run right there by Scott. Tried to come over our way, was blown up, was able to cut it back, made a couple guys miss, holding on to a shirt tail, broke free and picked up a first down.
One guy away from getting it to the pay dirt. Same formation by the Warriors. They're moving fast. Cantrell takes a snap, hands it off to Cole Scott. Looks like some ground and pound action going on for the Warriors. Brought down by number 42, Brant Flood, and number 2, Gage Graham. Second down and 9 for the Warriors. Warriors looking to score and score fast. They come out in spread formation, trying to draw the defense off sides. Defense does jump, but not across the ball.
Got Luke Hendricks down here one-on-one on the bottom, TJ. Maybe look to throw up a ball to him right here.
Cantrell's looking his way pre-snap. Takes the snap. Oh, it gets tipped at the line of scrimmage. Looking to hit Hendricks on the, looks like a slant route. And the ball gets knocked down by number 79, Connor Gober. Bring up third down and 9 for the Warriors. Gober standing there at 6'8", 300 pounds.
Good-sized cat.
Again, 2 receivers to each side for Cantrell. Gets the call from the offensive coordinator. 2:28 to go in the third quarter. Ball is on the Sulphur 43-yard line. Cantrell takes a snap. He's got a blitz. He's got a man open, and it's just outside his outstretched arms. Cage Morris, similar pass play last week we saw.
Yeah, Cage ball, good ball last week. That one was not really overthrown, but let him just a little bit too much right there. Cage, quick guy, but that ball was coming in a hurry.
Yeah, he's going to wish he had that one back. Just a hair early on that one. That incompletion brings up 4th down and 9 for Washington. Kobe Scott set to punt. Last week, they were able to drop the ball inside the 1 yard line thanks to some nifty punting by Kobe Scott and a great play by J.J. Jones. Another high punt. Takes a Warrior bounce inside the 10 and down by number 30, Cade Norman. Good punt. Pins the Sulphur Bulldog offense inside the 10. Well, they'll take over on offense. Again, I think if Kobe wanted to work on it, he might have a chance.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good little leg on him. Like you said, you're midfield and pin him deep inside the 10 right there. You can't really ask for much more than that, TJ.
Well, if you have an athlete like that at the punting position, you also have a lot of options to do different things. We listen to Pat McAfee podcast, and he loves getting some tutters, right?
Yep.
First down for the Bulldogs. Ball is at the 9 yard line. Mobley takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Gentry, and he is brought down in the backfield by Rhett Vaughn. Looks like a 5 yard loss. Warrior defense pinning their ears back now, Kyle.
Yeah, that play right there was just a little zone read, give and go, and decided to keep it, but he might have wanted to give that one off. Warriors had them closed in on a running back, but he kept it, and they snuck in on him too.
Minute and 38 seconds to go in the third quarter. Mobley takes the snap, hands it off to Gentry. He's able to bust through the first line of defense and take it to the 15-yard line. Nice gain on second down.
He had one guy to beat. We saw that earlier. He gets through that first and second level. He's a force to be reckoned with. He's got some speed to it for a big guy. Like I said, he comes in at, 6'3", 200 pounds. He's a pretty good-sized guy for a running back, so Warriors going to have to learn to hit him low and wrap him up.
3rd and 4 for the Bulldogs at the 15-yard line of Sulphur. 58 seconds and counting. Twin receivers to the left. Tight end to the left. Tight end has been quiet. They hand it off to Gentry again. He tries to run it up the left side, but he is met by Reese Stevens and Jackson Hendricks.
He's got a pretty good spot, though. Right on it, maybe just a little short or right on it. Looks like they're going to give it to him.
And they do. That's going to bring up a first down for the Bulldogs. 40 seconds to go in the quarter. Ball is at the 19-yard line. Sulphur taking their time to get to the line of scrimmage. They come out with 2 receivers to the left. Inside handoff to Gentry. He gets smoked at the line of scrimmage. Looks like Caleb Bruce and Reese Stevens. Number 61, Baylor Haynes there in the mix too. Excuse me, that is 33, Lane Spalding. And that's the end of the third quarter. Washington leads 34-13. When we come back, we'll do some college picks, Kyle. We got some time for that, right? Got OU playing Tulane. Turned into a home game now. OSU playing East Popcorn State, I think. So we'll come back. We'll talk about those games and finish up this fourth quarter. You're watching Warrior football on WashingtonWarriors.tv.
Maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorse Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorse get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
Versatile Networks can handle all of your school or business technology and wiring needs. Expanding into a new building or office space? We would love to give you a free quote for your network wiring. Are your computers outdated? Are your servers slow? Is your network...
All right, Kyle, we got some college football now this weekend. TU lost, bad loss. They had Zavion Collins. He ain't walking through that door anymore. They got beat by UC Davis, who's more popular for baseball than they are football. And so that's a bad loss for the Hurricane. But we got OU and Tulane tomorrow at Owen Field. 11 o'clock kickoff. Got moved because of Hurricane Ida. What do you think about that game?
Let's go 38-14 OU.
I think the NIL rules, I think Lincoln's getting some money from Spencer Rattler. I think he's going to run it up and try to get
I can't go
in the
too crazy.
50s.
No, we're Cowboy homers over here. So.
New quarterback in for, or no, it is still Mace Mobley. He fakes the pass. He's at the 20, and he gets knocked out of bounds by Lane Spalding. Lane Spalding's name called a lot tonight, but there is a penalty. Looks like it's probably going to be holding back there.
I'm sure if Sumac was in here, he'd probably say 89-0 or something of that sort. But, you know, I'm going to go 38-14. I feel like it's not going to get too out of hand.
You think there's going to be some sympathy because of the hurricane?
Yeah, maybe.
I think they're going to run the score up like the old ball coach would say, hang half 100 on them, right? I think it'll be lucky to get to, I'd say 55-10 OU. Penalty's going to back up Sulphur inside the 10-yard line to about the 8. OSU's got Missouri State tomorrow at Boone Pickens Stadium. Thoughts?
49-13.
I like it. It better be that score. Diamond formation by the Bulldogs. Single receivers to the right. Handoff goes to Gentry. He's got some room to run on the right. He's at the 10 to 15, and he gets smoked by Jamison Holland.
Jake Wells.
Jake Wells and Lane Spalding there in the mix as well.
Spalding really the one coming up laying the wood right there.
Shoulder looking pretty good right now. Yeah, the Cowboys should win. This is like the early season non-con cupcakes that the Cowboys usually schedule. So
the Longhorns game is the one I'm looking at. I think it's going to be a lot closer than everybody thinks.
Raging Cajuns of Louisiana Lafayette, ranked in the top 25 this year. They have the Chili's logo. We are not sponsored by Chili's yet. Mobley takes a snap. He's looking to pass it deep. Jamison Holland in coverage, and he's down with his second interception of the night. Jamison Holland with 2 interceptions gives the Warriors the ball at the 43-yard line.
Deep ball right there. Holland matching him step for step. That ball hung in the air for a while, and Holland makes a great play. Comes up at the last second and goes up and gets that ball. So you got to you can see in his eyes with the ball going down the field, he's just sitting there waiting for his time to go up and get it. And good job right there. Second INT of the game.
Big time play by the senior defensive back. Cantrell comes out with his squad on offense. 3 receivers to the right. Single receiver is Luke Hendricks on the left. Hendricks with 2 touchdowns already. They back up off of Hendricks. Cantrell takes the snap, hands it off to Cole Scott. He makes the guy miss. There is a flag on the play. And he is knocked down by number 1, Mason Mobley. Mobley having a busy night tonight, having to play the quarterback position, safety position, kicker, punter. Might be a little tired. Might be time for an ice bath.
Yeah, like you said, though, starting QBs out, you're going to have to come in and fill a role. So, like you said, having to play both ways tonight. QB got a little banged up last week, not able to start like you talked about before the game. But, their quarterback is, before he got hurt last week, he's a pretty good cat.
Yep.
TJ's, like you said, you go sign to play baseball at Wichita State, you got to be pretty dang good. So he's got an arm on him, and I'm sure the Bulldogs are hurting right now because they're missing him. But
hopefully he can be back for the remainder of the season after this game. Warriors have a long first down, and we'll call it about 23 yards. 3 receivers to the right. Hendricks is the lone receiver to the left. Again, a handoff to Cole Scott, and he is met in the backfield and just drugged down by looks like number 42, Brant Flood. A couple yards on the play, bring up second down and 20. Another big game tomorrow will be Georgia. I believe Georgia and Clemson play tomorrow, right?
Big game, yeah. one of the few really top 10 games that you really don't have many top 10 games, first 1 or 2 weeks of football. So it'd be good to see some good ball tomorrow.
Cantrell takes a snap, rolls out to the left, looking for Hendricks. Finds Hendricks. Hendricks falls down and makes the catch. Got a 8-yard gain on the play. Will bring up a 3rd and 12 for the Warriors.
Good design play right there. Pick up, 8 to 10 yards. Bring up a 3rd and manageable here. I'd say manageable, 3rd and 12.
It's manageable for this offense so far, right? Ohio State, Minnesota last night. I don't know if you got to catch any of that game. Very entertaining game.
I watched it until I fell asleep. So it was a decent ball game up until then. But,
right. Ohio State's got some
young
boys.
Quarterback.
Yeah. I think OU's got a chance this year. As much as I hate to say it, their defense is really stout. They play angry now, and obviously with Lincoln Riley at the helm, they can do a lot of things. Oh, pass is thrown off, intended to Kobe Scott. That was just a bad throw by Cantrell, it looked like. Trying to roll to the right. He's entitled to a few of those as a sophomore, though, right? That stops the clock with 8:35 to go in the ball game. Warriors lead by 3 touchdowns, 34-13.
I think Cantrell had to get rid of that quick, though. I see the coaches down there wait for him. I think it was kind of a give and go. Let him run a little route and put a little move, and then try to hit him deep. So
Scott takes the snap.
Good
Again,
punt.
nice high punt. Mobley there, fumbles the punt, but able to recover it at the inside the 20 again. Kobe doing a great job of pinning the defense, or pinning the opposing team inside the 20 on a lot of punts so far this year.
That's a good thing coaches like. If he can put that ball out there, give it some hang time, with the speed of these guys, let them get downfield and try to make a play. You saw it right there. Had a little problems catching that ball, but Bulldogs will have a 1st and 10, try to get the ball down the field. Really haven't had a lot of success tonight, TJ, other than the first 2 drives. Warriors made some adjustments and really keyed in on the running game, so Sulphur may try to mix it up a little bit right here.
We'll take a short break with them. You're watching Warrior Football on WashingtonWarriors.tv.
Darren Beller and Jason Hendricks, owners of Air Product Supply in Goldsview, are proud to sponsor the Washington Warriors on Squirtle for the 2021 season. APS is the regional distributor of Climate Master geothermal heat and air equipment and Lux Air and Oxbox as well. If you are looking for a local heat and air service company, call us at 405-288-0233 and we can put you in contact with the local professional heat and air company. All the employees of APS want to wish Coach Brad Beller and the rest of the Warriors and coaching staff the best of luck this football season. Go Warriors!
Welcome back to Reed Field. TJ Scholes here with Kyle Harris. Your Washington Warriors lead the Sulphur Bulldogs 34-13 with 8:27 to go in the ball game. Sulphur with a 1st down and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
Back to action on the 18-yard line. 1st and 10 Sulphur.
Mobley takes the snap, hands it off to Gentry. He bounces off a couple tackles before being finally brought down by number 22, Reese Stevens. Met first by Jax Hendricks and Lane Spalding, but cleaned up by Reese Stevens. Good job by the senior safety. 2nd down and 10 after no gain on that play. And the Warriors have decided to wrap up and tackle. They have shut down this Sulphur offense.
That's what I was getting ready to say. The coaches are going to enjoy watching this game film tonight and tomorrow. This Warrior D has came alive, after that first drive tonight. They really wrapped up and done a good job.
Mobley takes a snap, looks to run right. He's being chased by Case Taylor, and Case Taylor sets up Lane Spalding for the spike of the quarterback. Case Taylor held the jersey up, and then Lane Spalding just comes down and finishes the job. 2-yard loss. Lane's going to be up. Lane's getting close to 20.
Yeah.
20. He might get 20 tackles tonight. Very good job of him running to the ball. Brings up 3rd and 12 for the visitors with 7:05 to go in the ball game. Might start seeing some other guys after this possession. Sulphur comes out with a receiver on each end. They're just going to hand the ball off up the middle, and it is stuffed. Caleb Bruce, Hayden Milner, Case Taylor, and Nathan Rainey there to stop any type of penetration up the middle. Bring up a 4th down play, and more than likely a punt for Mace Mobley. Looks like the Warriors are just going to go in their safe formation, not send anybody back. 6:15 to go in the ball game. Mobley takes the snap. Short, high punt that bounces at the 48-yard line. Takes a Sulphur bounce down to the Warrior 46-yard line, and that's where the Warrior offense will take over.
37-yard punt for Mobley.
37-yard punt. 6 minutes for the senior. Excuse me, for Mobley, and there's 6 minutes to go. Warriors will take over at their 46. Looks like the
46-yard line in Warrior territory. First and 10.
Coaches are running Cantrell out there with Braden Arthur in at tailback. I'm gonna my Okie accent coming out there, Kyle. Cantrell takes the snap, hands it off to Arthur. Arthur does a good job of securing the ball. Gains about a yard on the play. Warriors have done a good job of not turning the ball over tonight.
Yeah, real good job. Especially, we've had a lot of runs up the middle. Good job securing that ball. TJ, I'm excited for this kid right here, Braden Arthur. He's a little body, but he's a fireball, man. He's got some speed to him. He hits a hole with authority, and like you said, he had 50-something yards last week on 5 carries. That's averaging over 10 yards a carry.
Yeah.
He's got a bright future ahead of him.
2nd and 9 for the Warriors. Arthur lined up to the right of Cantrell. They send Cade Norman in motion and run him with the jet. He cuts it up to the left. Good block by Kobe Scott on the outside. Now he cuts it back to the middle of the field, and he's brought down by number 30, Tyler Marshall, for the Bulldogs. He's able to pick up close to 20 yards on the play.
20-yard pickup from the 32-yard line.
Nice run on the jet sweep by Cade Norman.
1st and 10 Warriors.
Ball was placed at the 32-yard line. Warriors looking to try to get one more score before this game's over. Cantrell with the hard count, trying to get the defense to draw off sides. 5 seconds on the play count. Cantrell takes the snap, hands it off to Arthur. Arthur bounces off the defender, but is drugged down by number 24, Cash Matlock.
Tripped up by number 24, Cash.
Couple of yards on the play will bring up 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 from the 32.
2nd down and 10 from the 32. Warriors killing some clock. Coaches waiting to get their call in. 18 seconds on the play clock. 3:55 left to go in the ball game. Cantrell taking his time. Sends Cage Morris in motion. Hands it off to Morris on the jet sweep. He tries to make a couple guys miss before being brought down by number 34, Jeremiah Knowles of the Bulldogs. Again, the Warriors taking their time to get the calls in. Trying to milk the clock here and get this game over. Right, Kyle?
Yep. And Sulphur's got another tough game next week. Got Davis at home. Sulphur-Davis always been a pretty big rivalry.
Right.
Warriors head to Lindsay on the road next week, and it'll be another good week of football.
That Lindsay game will be fun. That'll be our first test on our secondary. They like to spin the ball around in the backfield or in the.
Lindsay coming off a big week last week. Not sure how they're doing tonight.
You might have to check that out. They had Purcell this week. We're not really paying attention to our ticker on top of the screen. We've been watching this game, but Cantrell takes a snap, hands it off to Braden Arthur, and he is sawed down by
QB
number 4, Trace Todd. Braden Standifer.
Or, no, yeah, Braden. I thought that was one there for a second.
It's going to bring up 4th down for the Warriors. With 2.5 to go in the game, up 34 to 13. The Warriors will be able to get this close to 2 minutes before having to snap it. Yeah, we'll have to pull up on the old score app and see what the score of that Purcell-Lindsay game is.
I was trying to get it a while ago. I couldn't get no scores to pull up.
Warriors are going to go for a high snap. They just hand it off to Arthur. He fumbles it, is able to recover it. Number 42 is able to tackle him, Brant Flood, and that'll be a turnover on downs by the Warrior offense. And the Bulldogs take over at the 39-yard line. 2 minutes and 1 second left to go in the ball game. 2 big plays by the Sulphur offense. One big play and then a bad play by the Warrior defense has allowed the only points for the Bulldogs. A 91-yard touchdown run off of a couple of broken tackles for the quarterback, Mace Mobley, and then a 4th down roughing the passer play is the only success the Bulldogs have had on offense. Handoff goes to number 32 for the Bulldogs. Corey Myers is brought down by number 5, Jax Hendricks. Gains 6 on the play.
Found us some scores, TJ. Purcell's up on Lindsay, 13-7.
Wow.
That game's in the 3rd quarter. I'll give y'all some other scores from around the Metro for 2A after this play.
45-yard line for Sulphur. A minute and 24 seconds left. Handoff goes to Myers. He makes a defender miss in the backfield, but he is body slammed. Number 36, Keller Howard, with a suplex. Our principal, Mr. Hancock, would be proud of that one. That's 2 points, I believe, in wrestling.
Got another score. Lincoln Christian is on the high side, 21-13 against Jones. That'd be a pretty good game.
That's Jones would be their 2nd loss of the season after dropping one to Bethany last week.
Community Christian and Bridge Creek, not sure if they're playing soccer or football over there, scoring 7-2.
Oh, wow.
That game's at half. Chisholm and Fairview, 43-0. Fairview's up.
I want to tell the fans, if you're watching this live, the franchise, 107.7, does a show from 10 to midnight every Friday going over the entire school or the entire state of Oklahoma in their football schools, or the football scores. It's their OK Preps game night that they do every Friday night. Great coverage of the state of Oklahoma and high school football. Myers makes a guy miss in the backfield, but brought down by number 61, Baylor Haynes. Number 11, Case Taylor there to finish it up. 28 seconds left to go in the ball game. It's going to be 4th down for the Bulldogs. Let's see if they try to get another play call off before clock goes down. Coach does get a call in to the quarterback. He comes back to the huddle. We'll see if they try to run it. They're able to get the snap off. Handoff goes to Myers, and Cole Beller there in the backfield to stop the play and end the game.
Great play by Cole there. Coming upfield, blowing that up. But like I said, only 8 seconds left. That'll end the game. Washington, big win tonight.
34-13 is your final. Bulldogs come down and score after the Warriors answer the Warriors' first touchdown with a touchdown of their own, and then take a 13-7 lead after a 91-yard touchdown run by quarterback Mace Mobley. But after that, all Warriors, 27 straight points by the Washington Warriors. Explosive offense. Could have been more too, Kyle.
Yeah, great game tonight. Great bounce back from last week. Had a little bit of questions about the defense from last week, TJ. Offense really didn't, surprise us much from last week, but this defense, after those first 1 or 2 drives, really stepped up. Coaches are going to have a fun time of watching film. Did a good job of wrapping up, getting upfield, making plays. A lot of big hits by by some guys.
Lane Spalding.
Spalding, he like you said, he probably had 20 tackles tonight, but made some big blow-up plays. So, going into Lindsay next week, TJ, like you said, Purcell's up on Lindsay right now, but Lindsay won last week, so be a good game.
Got to give a shout out to Lane Spalding's dad, Mike Spalding. Mike is the one providing us with game stats, from last week. He says that's one of his hobbies is doing the stats, and so appreciate him giving us full stats from the previous games. And of course, your dad giving us live, up-to-date stats on the sidelines during the games. We appreciate that too. But yeah, big test next week in the secondary against Lindsay's passing attack. But good start for the Warriors so far this season with a couple of big victories over two teams that you'll see make some noise in their respective classes.
Yeah. Well, if the quarterback comes back here, Sulphur's got a good chance to make a run later on in the year, and like you said, just two good teams coming in. It'll be fun to be on the road against Lindsay next week, TJ, and we'll make the trip with them and do it again.
Yep. Again, very very impressive victory here. We talked about it before the game that we thought that this was going to be a close ball game, or if it wasn't, it was going to. It also depends on injuries, from Sulphur's standpoint. But if it wasn't, we figured that it's going to be a pretty good margin by the Warriors because we know how explosive that offense can get, and they got rolling. And love to see the tempo, and love to see the ball getting shared around the receivers, and obviously Cole Scott going in there and doing a good job of running the ball there for the Warriors and keeping the balance. So again, pick your poison offense right now. Pick your poison offense right now. It'll be fun to go to Lindsay and go see what we can do against the Lindsay Leopards. Make our first road trip of this year and go to that environment. They'll be chomping at the bit to get at the Washington Warriors. A semi-rivalry game, not as much of a rival as Purcell, but it's just 30 minutes away. So these kids know each other, and it's going to be a good battle. We hope you can join us. If you can't, watch us on WashingtonWarriors.tv. Again, we'll have there's some bond issue talks going on. So if you guys want to come talk with Mr. Reynolds and get your questions answered, please go to that.
Make the meetings.
Yep, and then there's opportunities to do some advertising here with the Squirtle apps, and you're able to keep this a free service for our fans. And we love that we got fans watching from Alabama, overseas, all these things. So I'm glad that they're able to watch this for free, and hope you guys have enjoyed it.
All the guys watching overseas and all military personnel, appreciate your service to this country.
Exactly.
And we enjoy providing this service to you guys to be able to catch these when you can't be here. So, like you said, TJ, it'll be a fun trip next week.
With that, we'll sign us off. Warriors win at Reed Field 34-13 over the Sulphur Bulldogs. Good night, and go Warriors.